sorry about that. You know, a lot of people want to use the internet, so that's just how it is.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. You know, that's what we do, obviously. So did people hear about the balance and all that sort of good stuff? Balance basically always ongoing. Yes, diplomacy is being looked into, and yes, archery is probably up there on the list. That it's probably way too strong. Maybe you could even make it like they just get an couple of increased squares rather than just they got full range anywhere they go. This is probably something like this, but obviously balance isn't just you do it and then that's it. We always looking into how to make things as fair as possible.
Yeah. Okay.
What about flanking? What about flanking in general? Flanking. I think it adds some depth to the game. I like it. I think it's quite cool. Is it absolute be all and end all? No, I don't think so. And I think there could be more work done with flanking. Not to say that that's going to happen at release, but it's being looked at. I would like the option to be able to turn my unit, like personally. I would like the option to be able to, so it finishes. But obviously it can like face 8 directions because you've got diagonal attacks. So this would have to be, it would have to look nice, right? A lot of things when people suggest ideas, it sounds really good on paper. Like, yeah, why don't you just do this? And then when you actually try and do it in practice, it's like, oh, it looks terrible. It doesn't really work. And you're like, oh, okay. So back to the drawing board for that. So yeah, flanking, I like it. I think it does add depth. I think right now a lot of people are just like, right, well, let's just go and do maximum damage from behind, right? But you can put yourself in a bad situation if you do that, especially against other players. So I think there's a little bit more to it. If you should see, AI should be acting way faster than what it was before. And also, people wanted to know about Herodia, so I can actually just bring that up now. It's currently ongoing. So right now you'll see everything has this like open Heropedia page, like a quest symbol if you like, and you can click it and it will tell you like the info of the hero, like a little bit of their background, and you can do that for every faction, like, and see every hero and what they're providing, like what his, like if he has a governor ability, and what their 2 like primary faction things are, and then you can also do that for the lore of everything, which is quite cool. Obviously stuff is being added right now. And you can also do that for the units, so you can see what they do on like a single unit, obviously. So like an assassin, and then not the stacks, just a single unit in that stack. And some of them have got like their artwork added, some haven't. Like this is being worked on right now, but this is in the game and obviously will be completed for release. So that's quite cool. I know people wanted about Heropedia, and that will help because people wanted more information in general. So I think that's cool. And it looks nice, honestly. It looks really good.
It's an easy way to get to the info you want.
Yeah.
It was sorely missed.
Yeah.
So you can finally see the abilities and what they do for these specific units.
Yeah.
And this is something that wasn't really available in the adventure map, only in the combat map. So
yeah,
this is a nice way to make it accessible.
Yeah, it's yeah. I think it's good. Questions.
There was a poignant question by Avonu, which is how many things are we looking at now? We are looking at a number of things. When it comes to balance, then I don't think it's ever too late to take care of balance, especially with a complex game like this. Optimization is obviously high on the table because once you close in, there's always ways how to make the game generally faster. This is especially true for the AI. More balanced questions. Can you work on the management for Sylvan, please? It's one of the most expensive factions. Have to agree there. The costs obviously are not final. And once my colleague takes my place in about an hour, then he can maybe shed some more insight on that. So
yeah, we're gonna get one of the balance designers down as well, guys. He's gonna play for the last hour-ish. And he will obviously give more details. We'll answer what we can, but to get the proper 100%, this will be the man that will be in the know. But yeah, I think Sylvan units are quite expensive, right? But in fact, I read a post. Someone said Sylvan units are the best. Like they have some of the best because they have like 3 range units, blah blah. and they're the most expensive. Maybe there's something to that. Like maybe they're slightly stronger but slightly more expensive. But obviously, balance is that's whatever happening basically.
Do you find defense in balance with light magic buffs? Armor spells with Haven, just stack defense. Yes, that is exactly the strategy that Haven should actually pick. They are the most turtly action in the game.
Especially
so
with Legionnaires.
this is quite encouraged, and it's up to the opponent to, let's say, disturb the ranks and try to force them to split up their units.
Yeah. Or maybe you can use, if people start turtling up hard, this is where magic can come into effect, like the area effect spells. Also, we have the move that doesn't let you can't do a ranged attack, but you can't get hit by ranged attacks. I think this is actually pretty good against like the turtle tactics if you can push forward. But the Legionnaires have this shielded ability that is pretty strong right now. 25% damage reduction. They take 25% damage. Again, Haven are meant to play like that. On paper, you know, in like the raw sense. But we're of course looking into anything, and I think this turtle strategy is pretty strong right now, to be fair.
How much can we mod the skill wheel? Well,
How much can you mod the skill wheel?
the skill wheel or the skill pizza itself cannot be taken apart and put together. The user interface is as is, but the values inside can be taken. Are you planning to resize the map buildings to match the scale of the player? And some creatures like the Black Dragon. Visuals.
Okay, visual stuff. So, Black Dragon, we even had a chat about this yesterday. And asset reuse, yeah? So I'll bring it up. So assets have definitely been reused in Heroes VII. It's not a secret. It's not like a dirty word or anything like that. It's just how it is, right? We needed 6 factions. This really helped us in line by reusing some assets, like saving time, for example. We wanted obviously as much new stuff as possible. I think some people saw some concept art for stuff and maybe thought that it would be used to concept art, and it might have been like a lost in translation. That like everything's going to be brand new, but there is asset use. As for making stuff look bigger, for the example of the Black Dragon, right? As its model, when you look in like the editor, it already is pretty big, yeah, but it looks small on the screen. The way that we could potentially make it bigger before is like changing animations, but this is probably not going to happen like exactly in release, you know. This is something that is going to be like supported down the line to make it look bigger later on. We'll try and make stuff look like really grand if it's going to look grand, but for now, the reason that it was asset reuse is because we wanted 6 factions. We wanted to add more to the game, you know. So this is the reason that it happened, basically.
The visual quality of the game is, I suppose, the final. There's still time for adjustments here and there, but no groundbreaking changes, so to speak.
Yeah, nothing huge. We wanted to try and make pickups look a bit easier, because sometimes they can to stand out more because they blend into the map. This is being looked at like now, basically. Obviously you've got the Alt key. I'm not actually sure many people know that you have the Alt key, that you can press Alt basically and it will light up everything that's interactable. This is kind of alright, like as a feature, but we are looking to make stuff a bit more standout. In certainly in some maps you have like a sawmill and then you've got little houses and they kind of all look the same. Okay, this is not fantastic, but it's been looked at. It's for sure like now. So this could hopefully change if we can find a decent solution to be able to change this.
Yeah. There's a question about flanking, and wouldn't flanking be better as a special ability of some creatures? Flanking itself as a core mechanic, I find it quite fun. It increases the dynamic of the battlefield, and this is also why we have units that exploit this feature. The assassin, for instance, has the backstab skill or ability, if I remember correctly, which increases the flanking damage.
Yeah.
And then you have creatures who simply cannot be flanked.
Yeah.
So
some creatures have vigilance,
exactly.
so no flanking damage. So I think You know what? I think I think when people play with it a lot more, I know people have played a lot for the beta. Obviously, we have numbers for this, but I think when people play with it a lot more, they'll actually see, oh yeah, it's got a little bit more depth to it than first meets the eye, rather than just let me just run behind the mob and do always maximum damage.
Yeah.
I think in a more competitive sense, when you're playing against other people, I think if you did this, you'd start putting yourself in a really bad situation a lot.
3D unit models in Herodia was on the table, but the thing is that it wouldn't really add anything. You actually see the 3D models in game, in any case, either on the battle map or on the combat map. So it was decided to just go for the artwork instead.
Yeah. If I can find one of the mobs that I have artwork for, there are some already, I'll bring it up and be able to show you guys.
Let's try that. Oh. Happy is it can be quite subjective, I guess.
Yeah.
Personally, I like it a lot. I don't know about that. I like the sabotage capability that it has.
Yeah.
For me, it dies a bit too easily though. It could be a bit more tanky to take care of its sabotage role, but I quite like it.
Yeah, it's an alright. I kind of go shade, like the range upgraded version of this, and or tracker that might be.
Yeah.
And Strider, I kind of go that little bit of a combo. I don't like the troglodytes. I just don't like that unit. I just don't think it's right. So I don't use it, but yeah, I think it's alright.
Okay, I will try to speak closer to the microphone.
Okay, yeah, we got like this desk bike that's alright.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Now it's okay. Now the sound is okay. I kind of don't want to mess around with the settings anymore.
Yeah.
Or you'll be hearing us like 10 times, like we're at some sort of. Someone said Daft Punk, yeah. Like
Yeah,
we'll be at a
just
Daft
in
Punk
case.
concert, just in case, you know.
Yeah.
So for now, we'll just move as it goes.
Yeah. There's a question. Are you planning to remove minimap from Heroes interface and Town interface? No. It's the minimap was implemented to be as unintrusive as possible. While it can be, it maybe not makes that much sense in the hero screen, but it's to keep the consistency.
Yeah.
Are there all units in the encyclopedia, or do I need to kill them first? And heroes?
No, I believe they're all there.
They are all there.
That could be quite cool though, right? Like an achievement thing. A bit like Pokemon, you know? Got to catch them all, got to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they're all there. They're all there for now, for sure. So let's say right now, it's all there.
Antalian 11 asks, can we expect some additional units abilities? I don't think that it will come to that. I think we are still, we're in that phase where we want to tweak the numbers. I'm not sure that we will introduce any brand new abilities. Dirk can answer that better, he will be on the stream later. But yeah.
It's more of a balance what we've got rather than adding more stuff to balance.
Yeah. And if something is truly, well and truly broken or OP, then this can also be addressed in future patches. Are you going to change or tweak your meta magic skill? Right now it functions more as a passive buff and an ability that requires any strategic choice. It is meant to be passive now, yes, and the strategic choice itself would come out from the benefits that this buff provides. Tweak, yes. Change, most likely not.
Oh, these things are good.
Game music is too loud.
Too loud?
You can just
yeah, I can turn this, it's no problem.
I guess the unit sounds is okay, but maybe just music volume.
Yeah. Yeah, just let me know if that's a bit better.
Will the game be playable on 4 8-player maps on release with turn times?
Will
Turn
the game
times?
Turn times? You mean like sim turns?
Or
Or you mean like normal turns as we're doing it now? Yes to both.
Or we also have a turn limiter, turn time limit. That's for multiplayer.
Yeah, for multiplayer. Yeah. So you can play like speed.
Yeah.
Speed magic.
Speed chess.
Yeah,
Speed heroes.
Speed heroes. Yeah.
Why do all new systems mobs on the battlefield using bigger models and a more zoomed default view? And the reason for this view is to have a cohesive picture of what's going on the battlefield everywhere. The default view itself is meant for you to see the entire field. You can always go closer yourself, you can adjust the camera, you can rotate it as much as you'd like, and of course you will get more detail then. But the default view is meant to provide this tactical overview.
Yeah.
Let's see. Have you guys fixed the bug regarding some governor spell occasions that working? We are on it, yes.
Yep.
Some of those are gone, if not all.
Yeah. Lots and lots of bugs are obviously always being fixed, and a lot of the stuff that was in closed beta was already fixed, basically, like almost the day it came out, essentially. So don't worry, don't think, oh my god, closed beta 2 has so many bugs, that's it, like nothing will ever be good. No, that's just not the case. Like with now, we have even faster AI turns, and it still is the closed beta, you know.
Yep.
So.
There's some roadmap how development will continue and what features changes will be added later after release. Nothing specific.
Nothing specific. Nothing public at least, but just that we'll still be working on the game, of course. Like I said, it's not going to be here's the game, cheers, thanks very much. Yeah, see you later. It will have constant development, if you like.
Yep. Can we hope for an internal faction in a DLC or something? Well, I would hope so, but there's nothing we can say at this time.
Yeah, nothing that I could tell you yes, no, but I would certainly like to think so.
Also, can you get rid of forcing people to watch their opponents' battles? Unfortunately, not if you go for the traditional combat.
But this was spoke about yesterday. So, what is being proposed, and this is going to be hopefully for either release or very soon after release, is an option, like a toggleable option to remove information, if you like. And this is going to also be when you see your opponent fighting, like you can just have, so we don't want just having a black screen, right? That doesn't look right, but something, I'm not like, something so you know you've not crashed or something like this. There will be some sort of screen that you can toggle on, okay? So by default, you'll see your opponent and you'll see the information, but there'll be a way. I think I was speaking to a guy that was playing competitive Heroes, and he wanted that option because it kind of like ruins build orders. Like you can see what your opponent's built, you can just hard counter him and things like before you've even fought him. And I agree, I think that's really stupid. So yes, we're looking to have some sort of way to toggle information. This might also include the right click. You know, you can right click see stacks and see stuff. Maybe this will also be removed as an optional thing. And it's being proposed and spoke about now what the best way we can get around that is. So yes, that information question definitely came up and is being discussed.
Yep. Can you zoom in map view during your play? Yeah, we can.
Yeah, sure.
Also, I think you can also turn down the game volume a bit more.
Okay.
Just put it to 20, 30 or something with the master. Yeah, something like that.
Alright, no worries.
Alright, question about AI. AI remade from scratch? Yes. What can I say about it? I guess I can make a short introduction to the AI system we have right now. The core philosophy behind the AI system is inputs and outputs. The AI maintains a big array of sensors for a variety of decisions, or rather estimations. We call these utilities. So it's an utility-based AI, and these utilities signify the usefulness of some action for the AI itself. And from these utilities, we make a scoring for various actions, such as capturing a mine, capturing a town, running away from an enemy, going to defend a town, or trying to uncover the fog of war. These are all inputs for the AI. Then the AI processes them and arrives at some conclusion, which is the best course of action to take, more or less. And it does so for every town and every hero. So everybody has this kind of brain power, every entity on the map. I hope you can still hear me. Let's see. Back to town. I'll give the turn to the AI and then I can continue speaking. And the AI itself, yeah, it always takes the most up-to-date information it has to account when it's making its decisions. One thing also that's important to note is that we make the assumption that the AI has played the map at least once, so the AI knows where the adventure map objects are, the ones from the start, but not necessarily what they are. So the AI doesn't know beforehand that some resource will provide that X amount of resource. Let's see. If we create a new skill with modding tool, will the AI be able to use them as well? Generally, yes. The AI uses what we give it, which is kind of brutal for the AI. And internally, the actions that the AI can take are maintained by base values. So attacking a mine, or let's say a wood, a sawmill and an ore mine would have a base value, which is probably identical, but a gold mine would have a much higher base value to start scoring it. Damn it, it's my turn already.
Yep.
Of course I forgot to put my hero as the governor at the very start. Wait, I don't have a governor ability?
Maybe not. Maybe your other hero does.
Oh no, I just
get the
I just
passive-
get the passive anyway.
gold.
Never mind.
Never mind.
There we go.
Additional units. Let me guess. Love Dark Elves, but hate Trog. Yeah.
Let's see.
What else have we got? Yeah, speed is better. Make a minimize button for the minimap. But then like it's got to be everywhere, right? Like you have to minimize it. Maybe it's something that someone will look into. Achievements in Heroes VII. So I'm not sure what I can really tell you. There are achievements, and there are achievements.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are achievements, and they're going to be like new play achievements, right? And there's quite a few actually. There's quite a few. I remember having to give name suggestions for the achievements, so they're definitely in there. I don't know. I don't want to spoil any achievements, but they are there.
Yeah.
I don't think Uplay does any sort of like card system, does it? Like Steam?
Not particular, no.
No, I don't think so. So I don't think you'll get anything for them except for the fact of getting the achievement. You'll get Uplay points. That's
Oh yeah.
my favourite.
Skill system modding question. Can we make empty spots to be filled by a random... I think I understand what you mean. So you want to have wildcard spots. No, unfortunately the system is not tailored out for that. endless memory consumption and bad save files. Memory consumption is optimized, yes.
Yeah.
And save files are still being improved
And
as
they
well.
will be fixed. Basically, we had a meeting yesterday. That is something that is seriously, that is top priority. Save files will be fixed. There won't be stupidness with that save file stuff. Like there is a possibility there is now. So yeah.
And also this goes to, I see a question about multiplayer save games. This also goes to multiplayer save games.
Yes. Yeah. Save. Let's just say load save is like one big thing, and it will be good. It will.
Yep.
It will work.
Improve the damage of warfares. Well, there actually was an issue that the warfare units were completely imbalanced at one point, and very powerful.
Yeah.
So they are being looked at. Some might be buffed, some might be nerfed.
Yeah. And again, another balancing thing. When Dirk comes down, I'm sure he can give us a bit more insight on it. But yeah, it's a difficult one with warfare units, right? Because it's like a free damage, isn't it, or something, basically.
Exactly.
So you've got to be a bit. You can't go too overboard of it, basically.
The reason behind just offering one spell with Mage Guild level 4 building. Yes. This goes in line with our, let's say, stance that you should not be able to get all the spells just from your Mage Guild.
Yeah.
So we have added a number of adventure map buildings which provide you with additional spells from all levels.
Yes.
There can be a building for one specific level or multiple levels. So you can have a shrine, an arcane shrine for level 1 spells, or level 4 spells, or level 3.
Yeah, and it's going to be in line with this spell hunting feature people are asking for. So basically you're going to have to go look around the map if you want to find a decent spell, you know, bit of risk reward. Do I go and have a guy explore, just look for a shrine that might have, I don't know, Armageddon on it or something like this.
Yep.
So yeah, and with the new system, this arcane knowledge system, you'll be able to learn it as long as you've got the right amount of arcane points. Before it was, say you found Armageddon but your hero couldn't even learn fire, then he couldn't skill fire, then that's it, sorry, you just don't get it, unlucky. But now with the arcane knowledge system, as long as you've got X amount of arcane knowledge points, you can still learn Armageddon. Maybe if you don't have fire, you can't specialise in it to make it do super duper damage, but it will still be you'll still be able to use it at least.
Yeah.
So you'll have more on your plate for what you can use.
Exactly. Getting a bit damaged.
Will there be a guide or tutorial for people like me to use the map editor? I believe Julian, who is here, maybe he'll pop in. He's the main man about the map editor and stuff like that. Will there be a guide from us coming out? Debatable. Will there be a guide from Ubisoft coming out? I think they already have even posted something on the Shadow Council. Julian has already posted something. In fact, there's 2 map editor posts on the Shadow Council right now. So yeah, I'm sure there will be a bit more of a guide on how to use the map editor and things like that. And it's constantly, obviously, always being worked on. So as for us putting one out, no. As for Ubisoft, I can say pretty strongly there will be more information about the editor, yes.
Yes. There's a question about the bestiary. I would like to repeat that there is a Heropedia feature now that is in the game.
Yeah.
We can also show that off once again later. This contains information about all the creatures and the heroes in the game.
Yes.
And you can access it pretty much freely from the adventure map.
Yeah, and when it gets to my turn, I'll show you again, and I'll try and find one that has concept art. There is some creatures with concept art in, but like I said, it's being worked on now, but we can show you.
Yeah.
And it goes in line with this whole information thing. You know, some people want less information, some people want more. We'll try and cater for what we can with toggleable options.
Exactly. I have some wood. Let's see. There we go. Ready for the weekend.
Ready. So,
question: Medusa sorceress doesn't cast spells. Why? Because the simple question is that the unit was designed to be like that.
Yeah.
We don't have many spellcasting units per se in the game. Anyway, and it's it's meant to be a support unit that attacks and debuffs passively. Will there be any balancing before release?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
100
Absolutely.
times yes.
Someone asked about diplomacy, already being balanced. Someone asked about archery, already being balanced. This is the Heropedia thing. So basically, every unit now has got this little quest symbol. I like to. You just click this, opens Heropedia, and you'll get what its base stats are, a little bit of the lore about it. If it has like what it starts with, if it's a governor ability or weakness adept here, and what its 2 starting skill things are, and what its starting armies are. You can do that for every hero, for every faction, as you can see there. And then it's the same again for the creatures. Same again, it shows you the singular creature, so you can work out how much damage you're going to do, and then increase with your stack size. And then it will have concept art that isn't added yet. There is some that I'll try and find. Yeah, basically there is a Heropedia. Same for warfare units. Exactly the same deal.
Yep.
So it's in the game already and just being smoothed out now, being polished up. So yes.
Yep. Rebalancing. Yes, of course. Everything that has a number, basically, can be considered up for change and not final at this point in time. The AI raises big concerns with gamers because nowadays, in addition to being smart, the AI also has to be fast. Do you think H7 will deliver on both ends? I would like to think so, yes. The smartness of the AI is has already been increased. It had brand new actions added meanwhile as well, so it has a wider variety of things to do, or we allow it to do, basically. And the speed has been improved greatly and will keep on improving.
Yeah, I mean speed is already better now. Even like the build that we're playing on, like I said, it's than the closed beta 2 build that you guys are able to play, and already the speed is how much faster is it, Oak? Like if we were to put a percentage on it, it is already.
The percentage, if you want to do an average, it would be around 90%. For example, on the 8 players map, I made a benchmark on my PC. It went from 6 minutes on the first turn to 35 seconds in the first turn, and from again about 6 minutes in the first turn on the second turn to 46 seconds on the second turn.
Yeah.
And this is when I was playing with myself and 7 other AIs, and on the second turn they already had a second hero. So you can basically say that for 16 heroes it takes 45 seconds to a minute to complete all of their actions.
And we agree, it was ridiculous, right? You played Irresponsible War and you waited 6 minutes per turn? That's stupid.
Not cool.
Believe me, guys, we don't think that's good either. Like, that obviously gets fixed straight off. So don't worry, we're not looking to give you some like half-hearted thing.
Yeah, and of course some of you might remember the pain from the Heroes 5 release when the AI in the vanilla game was a bit slow, and this is something we greatly want to avoid for obvious reasons, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you make an option to choose any specialization to any hero? Unfortunately not.
I don't believe so. I don't know if that's an editor and modding thing, maybe?
It can be modded. You can change around the specializations technically, but there is no choice available in game.
No. Not in like the core game. Like, so if we say you can mod it, don't think that you can mod it in the actual game. That's not how it is.
There's a question about out of sync errors after loading the save game. This is something that will be improved, as we already said before. All
load save issues will be fixed. This is top priority. There will be no, I say no, 99% that there's going to be no load save shenanigans, and this out of sync stuff is fixed.
Yeah. Let's see.
Can the buildings on the castle screen be highlighted? contour. Yeah, this goes in line with stuff looking dull and stuff, right? And
well, I
like
think it's
sawmills and things.
No. It's in the town screen itself.
Oh, in the town screen.
Yeah, previous Heroes did have this outlining feature, but I'm afraid we will not have it for release at least.
Yeah.
It brings some serious technical considerations. Does that modifying GM skills? Yes, you can modify.
Correct.
GM skills.
Yeah, you can. What is happening with bug reports and feedback posts? So that's basically one of my jobs and some other people's jobs. I read every single forum, community boards, message boards, message in a bottle, you know, everything, and gather your player feedback. So it's definitely not doesn't fall on deaf ears. I gather it all, and in fact I wrote up a nice fancy looking proposal of closed beta 2 feedback that I got from you guys and girls, obviously, and yeah, it gets read, and we address what we can address what we think needs addressing, maybe put something on like the shelf that we'll look at later, and we try and change whatever we can that was going to be the biggest impact, right? So
yeah.
That's the goal, that's the core philosophy. Change what you can that's going to provide the biggest impact. So balancing stuff is super important, yeah? Like, I am a gamer at heart, and I'm a big, like, StarCraft player, and, like, the balance in that game is great, you know? But when it's bad, but when it's bad, you really know it's bad, right? Because everyone says it's really bad, and there's obvious stuff. So I am all about balance and optimization, if you like, and the min-maxing of everything like that. However, this takes literally years, like Heroes 3, Heroes 5, these games were like great like a couple of months after release, right, when all the mods came out and people really delved into the balancing. So yes, we do what we can, and it is constantly addressed. However, if something's going to take like a whole week to look at just to balance, but we can do something else that is going to make a really much bigger impact on the game, this will of course take priority. That's just how it works, you know.
There's always prioritization in what can give the game the most benefit for the time required.
Yeah.
There's another question about why resources look similar on adventure map but different on resource bar. We are looking into it. I don't know if it's in this version already, but we want to make the resources much more distinct from each other. Well, currently, let me just skim around my map quickly. Oh, it's okay on this map. It's not too bad anyway because it's a desert and everything is yellow. But yeah, it's the visibility of pickups is definitely something we're still looking into and want to improve. Will I be able to view this stream later? Is it going to be saved?
Yeah, it is archived by. I made sure I selected that option on Steam. So.
On Steam, Twitch, sorry.
Yeah, on Twitch. So feel free to go back and quote stuff on the message boards. Look what they said. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be there.
Do you think there are enough neutral units in the game right now? I always wanted to make my own factions like dwarves and halflings. Personally, yes, I think there's a good amount. There can always you can always have more, but I think it's a fair number.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the modding, if people will be able to make their own. How does that work?
Technically, yes.
Yeah, so you'd be able to make your own as well if you so wished. If you wanted more, make more. Do it.
Out of curiosity, what faction is your favorite in Heroes 7? Then you go first.
Necro. I think it's a really cool faction. I played with it a lot. It had some bad errors, when we were testing it. It had some because of its faction skill, but it's fixed now and it's cool. I think it's got some of the coolest looking units, and I just like that faction a lot.
For me, it definitely has to be Academy. I really like the lineup a lot, and it might come as a surprise for you. I like the meta magic there a fair bit as well. I think it adds nice tactical depth and this feeling of urgency when you are playing against Academy, that you want the fight to be over so that meta magic cannot just pile up and hit you in the face. And yeah, I like that aspect about Academy a lot, and I'm a sucker for magic, so of course Academy.
What's your guys' favourite faction?
Yeah,
What's your favourite faction? Come on, if we got 7, you can pick from.
Yeah, well 6.
Six to pick from. So what's the community's favourite faction right now?
That would be nice to know.
And I'll make sure to make it really, really OP.
Yeah. Question: previously, you guys talked about battlefields and how much effect obstacles will play part in them.
Yeah, I think there was a post on this, like the battle sites, right?
Yeah.
Like the cave and the thing.
Yeah.
How much will they affect? I think they're a cool addition to the game. I don't think they're not some sort of like groundbreaking thing, but yeah, they'll change stuff. Like if you have one of these ones that's a cave and like rocks fall down on the square, pretty certain that does significant amount of damage to your unit if it gets caught. One's like an ambush where you get stuck in the middle and everything's around you, so definitely flanking system there is going to be a thing for sure, so you're not just getting smashed. You don't overextend to one unit and get smashed on the other one. So yeah, I think they're going to be a cool addition to the game, and you'll be able to find them in all maps, skirmish, campaign and scenario. So they'll be there.
Yeah. And as obstacles generally go, the obstacles are still there. You can see them on the map right now.
Yeah.
You can take cover behind them, or well, next to them.
Yeah.
Just that the feedback is not consistent right now, and I have a bug report for that. I'll make that work. And yeah, obstacles are as random obstacles go in previous Heroes, more or less. What's the current setup right now is that the level designers can specify a number of obstacles they want, a list in the combat map, and then during map startup we will roll a number, how many of those will we put in, and we will put in as many obstacles into the map as possible. There was some stuff. Will unit animations be checked? I saw that some people had gripes with some units moving awkwardly. Yes, we would need to check that. Units obviously need to move better and be more in sync, and the damage needs to trigger at the proper time, so it's a matter of polishing.
Yeah, it's not like a polish thing now. This is the kind of stuff that gets worked on in these sort of phases. So yeah, it's definitely not forgotten about. It's definitely not being ignored, and it's being looked at for sure and changed.
Yeah. There's a question about global modding. It's, I guess you mean more like total conversion mods, but possible, but still going to have to be map based.
Yeah, give us more specifics and we'll try and answer your question as good as possible.
Size of the menu bar in the town screen. Size of GUI elements is more or less final.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't expect to see huge changes for that sort of stuff unless there's huge outcry for it.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things, you know, gets decided and that's it.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Where are 3D Heroes models and units models? They are not inside the Heropedia, no. But you can see them on the regular adventure map.
Yes.
Obviously.
And you'll see like a cool little concept-ish art in the Heropedia.
Yeah.
As well.
Yep. Is it possible to send units into a specific fort without visiting this fort? Yes, you can order caravans.
Yeah.
Do you feel XP gain on heroic difficulty is too high? XP gain is something that we took a look at internally, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It can be changed.
Yes. And it probably will be.
But personally, I am quite happy with the pacing. I personally would maybe like to see levels cap out at higher XP ceilings.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the only thing.
Yeah.
I need cash, man.
Yeah.
I need to build my town hall. And those are too many vampires.
Has the second feedback been big help for Limbic? And can we expect to see a big jump forward similar to the first beta from... Yes, basically. Like I said earlier, I gathered a whole report from all the different forums, community boards, everything like this, and yeah, it's been a big help. We prioritised. We tried to pick, basically what we do, we look at the more casual player, the more hardcore player, see if there's a common theme between both of them, and then prioritise this, because obviously that's a common feeling for everyone. So AI turns, for example, was one of the biggest ones. Prioritise this, so we fix it for release, or as close as possible, and then we just go down the list, like this. Okay, the more hardcore guys want this, but the casual guys, they maybe didn't say too much about this, or maybe some people had a total different opinion, Then we try and find and play an even balance and a more of an even field. So that's how it works. So yes, it was a very big help, and obviously the beta is still live. So any more help, any more posts, they definitely. Even if people just go nuts, right? And I've read some, this is terrible, blah blah blah. We want this, and this. I still write that down, because I can still use that feedback.
It's still valid feedback.
Yeah, it's still valid feedback.
It's very passionate, but it's still valid.
It's still passionate, and maybe I'd like you to be a bit more specific on what you want, rather than just give me Heroes 3, give me Heroes 5. Okay, but I still write it down. So yes, it was a very big help.
Let's see. There was a question about bug with game freezing, getting stuck during multiplayer battle. Yes, these are being worked on as we speak.
Yeah.
I was also part of fixing one of those issues a few days back. Let's see. Why does the hunter have a sword but it still uses the bow to retaliate? I guess that our animator just thought it would look cool.
Yeah.
Try to zoom the map.
Guess he thought he was...
If you can, then you can just show maybe a little bit around the environment.
Yeah.
From a closer perspective, I guess. It'd be fun to see. So the question, since the old vampire and lich are ready, why not put them as neutrals in the game?
They are necropolis units.
Yes. Well, that's an interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah.
I will ask.
Yeah,
I'm interested. I'm interested.
We'll ask. That. If you've got questions that we can forward to people, we definitely will. Chances are they're either watching the stream or I can send them a message now.
Yes.
So it's no problem.
Let's see. Will hybrid warfare units get 2 moves per turn? Yes, they will. One for their attack and one for their support. Do you think most bugs in beta 2 will be fixed on release? Yes.
Most is a bit ambiguous, right?
Yeah.
A lot will be fixed, for sure.
A lot will be fixed. Most, hopefully, yes.
Yeah. And if it's absolutely game breaking, game defying, this out of sync, the saves load stuff, yes, I can say with a lot of confidence that will be fixed.
Yeah. Will we postpone it if we think there are too many? We are still going for our deadline.
Yeah,
so
deadline is still going, and I brought it up earlier. It's because say we did postpone it, right? In the gaming industry, in general, you can always use more time, can always use more money. Yeah. This is just how that works. Yeah. That can just always a thing.
Yeah.
But if we postponed it, and people say, in 6 months' time it's going to be so much better. Yeah, it's probably true, right? It's probably true of a lot of games if you said that. Yeah. The issue comes is that in 6 months' time, or even in 4 months' time, you've got Fallout 4 coming out, this Star Wars Battlefront coming out, and they're just going to be huge titles. And then where does Heroes 7 sit within that? It's a bit difficult, isn't it, really? So you kind of got to have deadlines, and really, as much as possible, you've really got to stick to them. So that's the plan right now, yeah? So I'm saying with absolute confidence right now, we will not postpone if we can help it.
Yep. How many people of dev team is visiting Shadow Council? I am.
Yeah, I am. Let's say
I know that almost all of the people at least take a look.
Everyone reads it, basically. There's no obviously people are lurking, they're probably not posting, but everyone reads it for sure.
Yes.
Same as Heroes community, I read that every single day throughout the day. Yeah. Celestial Haven, I read that all day.
Celestial Heavens.
Sorry. Steam discussion. I've been reading that as well.
Yeah.
There's a subreddit, HOM subreddit. It's not used as much, but I read that as well.
Yeah.
NeoGAF has a lot of stuff about it. We read all of the forums, and then I would say pretty much everyone involved in the thing definitely reads them.
Yeah. Let's see. Buildings do not need that many special resources. Balancing.
It's a balance, right?
Depends on the faction.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Again, another balance of balancing.
Yeah. And this will be taken a look. This will be looked at.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't you think that champion units are way too expensive compared to their strengths? I would argue that if you have champion units, then you already have an entire new stack. They are expensive, but I think the cost is justified.
Yeah.
Dirk, who will come in later, will probably answer that better than me. But
yeah, basically.
it's still a whole new stack with all the new abilities that it gives you. Let's see. Artifacts giving stat boosts, hugely effective on core units. Yes, of course, the stats will begin to have diminishing bonuses if your base unit already has like 30 attack or anything. Having +2 is not that much big of a deal, but that is a question of scaling and balancing as well.
And obviously how good it is at the start. +2 is huge at the start, right? +2 later on.
And the Dirk already answered that in the chat, so I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Camera adjustments. Zoom, right-click, rotate. The zoom level, well...
Zoom, I mean, you can zoom in as kind of almost as much as you want, really. And zoom out as much as you want. As for, like, a rotate, isn't that with these?
The rotate currently is with keyboard keys, but having a right-click rotate...
You can rotate, yeah. I like.
That's actually an interesting point as well. It's something that I will forward. I would be interested in that myself as well.
But as for right-click, like looking around like Dota or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you can do it with the keyboard keys. You do it like the end key and all this, this stuff if you wanted to, and you can like default it, the camera default. Maybe we can have something where where you can save your camera settings. Maybe. I'm not saying that's going to be the thing for release. That would be more of like a support thing, but maybe this could be something that is discussed.
Yeah. Creature speed. If you mean the actual speed in which they move, there are 5 default values that we have. It's very slow, normal, fast, and very fast. And we decided upon this to have some consistency. So let's say the Assassin and the Sundeer and the Centaur Marauder would be very fast units, but the Green and Emerald Dragon would be quite slow, so would be the Golem. Let's see. You wrote of different size battle maps early in development. Yes, they are there.
Yep.
However, when you look at current maps, they are very similar in size, and all units cross them in 2 turns. It's also a balancing issue.
Yep.
The movement.
Maybe we can just reduce how far things can move rather than scaling the map.
There's always ways how to make your units move further, and also force enemy units to move less. Is there a possibility to get more than just 5 skills with random skills? No. Currently the 5 is the magic number.
Yeah.
Are you planning to do some tweaks in the random skill system, like prioritizing? Yes. Limbic Dirk already answered that as well, so I'm just gonna scroll.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm gonna scroll.
Scroll down.
There's so many questions.
Good.
You are very, very industrious.
Good.
It's nice to see that.
Yeah, we're good. We like the questions. We like having passionate fans. Yeah.
Yes.
There's no point in people not caring. If you don't care, then even if you do not like the game, right?
Yeah.
Even if you prefer the other Heroes games, we still like having passionate fans.
Yes. Can we expect the possibility to change hero classes in campaigns? Well,
Hero
not
classes.
Not in our own campaigns.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. Maybe this is something that
You
you could mod, make your own campaign,
You can make your own
map
set of
kind
maps.
of things. Yeah, and then you could do it there.
Yeah. You can always make your own specialization.
Yeah.
Localization questions. Some language variations are very bad, even
Yeah.
game breaking.
I heard about this. I
We
read
have
about this
had
today.
feedback about localization issues. Yes, they are of course being looked at.
Yeah, they're being looked at. Yeah, I did. Obviously, if you don't speak the language, you don't know, right? And like, don't think that's a cop-out response, obviously. But yeah, they'll definitely be looked at, especially if I heard someone really bad, like Polish. I heard was really bad, which is just like, okay, then maybe we can change some subtitles or something. But
yeah. Let's see. Why do you guys so rarely post anything on SC Shadow Council?
Shadow Council is an Ubisoft platform.
Yes.
And not a Limbic platform.
No, Limbic per se doesn't prepare anything specific there. We help them out for the informations, but it's more up to them.
It's more their baby, basically.
Yeah.
So you've got to remember, right now we're doing this stream purely from Limbic. Yeah, this is not an Ubisoft initiative. We just thought, you know what, it would be cool. Last couple of days of the closed beta, have a chill out with the devs. We'll play the game. We'll chat with you guys. Totally, we just decided that we'd do it. No one streamed from Limbic before. That's why we had some mic issues. You know, this is why it's kind of so it's nothing. It's nothing great. But we just thought, it'd be a cool initiative, and we'll do it. And we're doing it. So it's so that kind of comes in line with why we don't post in Shadow Council. That's like an Ubisoft thing, you know. Like that's their thing. But us doing this sort of stuff, yeah, we can do this. It's no problem. And that's basically it. It's kind of their baby.
Yeah. Do we improve the attack calculation? Yes, there is one person upstairs working on that as we speak. And we are aware that some of the damage predictions are off.
Yeah.
Especially for the warfare units, and it is actively being fixed right now,
right now.
by that person. And it will be fixed, of course. Why is AI not using flanking? There is an issue. To give you a short overview with the technical details, the AI lacks the concept of cursor and angles, so we have to fake it for it to make sure that it goes from the right angle, but it kinda refuses to do so. So this is obviously a bug, and hopefully, we will get it working as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And it is something that we will fix, of course. Let's see. Okay, camera requests are very high on the list.
Oh, camera requests. are high on the list.
Right-click rotation and zoom adjustments.
Okay. We'll definitely look into it. I don't think it's something that's going to come in release because it's a big deal, right? People think like camera, but I mean, when you look at all the things like combat maps loading in and like certain like scripted events and things like that, the camera has already been set, right? And imagine if you had to go and change all of that right now. It's not like I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's not happening.
It's not an easy task.
It's not an easy task, right? Yeah. It's a time-intensive task.
Yeah, we need to make sure that it looks good.
Yeah, it has to look good.
It looks consistent and coherent.
As for people keep requesting it and things like that, for sure it goes like higher and higher on the priority list, and then it becomes in like the support patches that I was telling you about after. And not support like a year down the line or something. Support patches as soon as possible. As soon as it looks good and it's done correctly.
Stop. Can I beat these? Nope. Next turn. Let's see. Okay. Why did you replace the old spell acquiring system with the arcane knowledge system? Why not make them work side by side? Well, it's also a balance thing.
Yes.
We wanted to make sure that the arcane knowledge was worth. Well, you need to feel the return of investment when you take magic skills and abilities.
Yeah.
To increase your arcane knowledge.
So basically, the old system that we had, if you only had the skills in your skill wheel. So I'll bring it up now. So this person would only be able to do, I don't know what that flashing stuff is. This person would be able to get the Master of Dark Magic, obviously, because that's what their deal is. They'd only be able to learn the Expert Earth and Prime Magic skills, right? But with the Magic Guild, what happens if it just didn't give you a skill that you could use? That's kind of stupid, right? That doesn't make sense. And
it feels unfair.
You're like flipping a coin, and I don't think that's a cool system. So Arcane Knowledge now allows, if you got a skill that you can't specialize in, at least you can still use it on like some fringe play, like something that's really weak to fire, and you didn't go anything into fire, but you have Fireball, and it's going to do more damage than whatever you specialised in. That's why I think the Arcane Knowledge system is better. I don't think you could really pair them, so you can still specialise, obviously, but you can't really have one system and the other system. It seems a bit too much then.
Yeah, well, it all depends on that. It
wouldn't work, right?
It would depend on the numbers.
Basically, it's like a big numbers game.
It needs to make sense in the scope of the system to allow a hybrid.
Yeah.
Let's see. No random map generator. Why? Well.
No random map generator?
Well, it's already answered by Lucy Berard.
Okay.
There is a random map generator.
There is a random map generator. I don't know if that's secret information, but if it is, but there is a random map generator.
There is an RMG. I was just surprised that
people didn't know
that it was a very assertive looking question.
Right, okay. No random
but
map generator. But there is one. Yeah,
there
is one, and I think it's all right. I haven't looked at it much myself, but I think it does all right.
Yeah. Let's see. If I understood correctly, the campaign main hero will have one fixed class. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
To be able to change the main hero class would be a great option to make the campaign possible to play 6 times different. That is a good point, but it also carries the lore on its back. The story, the protagonist of that story, he would have to have a very good reason to change his class, I guess.
Yeah. If I modify a single creature, after that we'll replace source files with modified creature. Will I see it in the core game? No, for sure not. In another world, is it possible to modify source files by bypassing the official editor? Yes, no? Could you do that?
Could
you in theory do that?
In theory, everything is possible with a hex editor.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's not something that's.
It's not something that's going to be supported.
No,
like officially supported.
We can't. We literally can't.
Can't support that. And I don't mean support as in we can say you can do it or not, but we can't support it within the game. But I'm sure that there is some people that are very bright that can probably do that if they wanted to, and then so be it. 2015. Do what you want to do when you buy the game.
Yeah. Unless it reaches the end user license agreement.
Yeah.
Okay, I need my blade dancers now.
Can we get an explanation? Okay, answered that. No randomness, please. Will ranged units be able to use flanking also? Shot in the back. There's actually a skill in the game that lets that be a thing. I saw that it lets range units do damage from the back.
No, the directional attacks are not there for ranged units.
They're not there for ranged.
Yeah, the only difference that range units will have is cover.
The cover
which
mechanic.
is also interacting with the flanking system a little bit because of positioning.
Yeah.
And of course the half range, full range.
Yeah, whether on the thing. So no, it won't be able to just go and shoot in the back.
Yeah. Can we get an explanation for the Arcane Knowledge system?
Yeah, I think we've done that.
Why fix a symptom of having 7 magic schools? Well, the thing is, we have the 7 magic schools. This will not change. And we are working in that, let's say, framework.
Yeah.
And the Arcane Knowledge, we feel that without reintroducing the wisdom skill, which is something that we really didn't want to do because it would feel like a complete no-brainer for every magic hero ever, you would need to pick the wisdom skill to be effective. Of course, we didn't want that. So this is a neat solution in this particular framework, how to allow for a more diverse selection of spells for the player. Oh crap! I'm getting scouted by the AI.
Okay. At least it's doing its job.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Yeah, Logical Dustar says that archaeology is the product of 7 magic schools and how to make it work more or less.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically.
That is exactly the
That is exactly how it is.
Yeah.
Is it the cleanest and the absolute best? Probably not. But does it work right now? It definitely works right now.
for this framework at least.
Yeah,
for sure.
For this, it does work.
Where can I get the druids? Oh, I need the magic skill. Magic guild, yeah. Okay.
Law shouldn't influence gameplay. Meh. I think that some people would certainly argue that point with you. I think that is true from a very player that like competitive. That's a very competitive player like mindset, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, don't care about law, just want their absolute best.
Yeah.
I think you'd find a lot of people would argue against that. People would like the story, right?
I would bring in StarCraft. For StarCraft multiplayer, I could never ever expect any lore. But for Heroes, it's such an immersive game with such an rich historic background. I think it's kind of like a necessity.
It is,
as well.
Agreed. For a game like Heroes, I think lore is actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah. There was an argument against the arcane knowledge system that the Magic Guild, we could have changed the Magic Guild to always give your favorite school you choose.
Mm-hmm.
This is the case right now.
Yes.
You can choose your favorite school
Yep.
within the Magic Guild, and you will get literally one spell at least every school.
Yeah, every time that you buy it. So in fact,
in every level you will get at least one spell of this school.
Yeah. And that is how that will work.
Let's see. Please, how are the pre-orders? Well, obviously we don't have any numbers, but we hope they're high.
Or if we do have the numbers, they're all right.
That's one way of putting it, yes. Let's see. Question, why simplify the dialogue window when picking up the treasure chests? Ah, yes, the fluff texts.
Ah,
the fluff texts are... They are unfortunately not in yet. Yep. That's all I can say about that.
Yep.
Maybe they will come, maybe they won't.
Yep.
Nobody knows. I need money, man. And 2 more levels to get to my capital.
I'm all over it now. My build is set up. Even with these random heroes.
Okay, question, will there be a tutorial for new players to the franchise, or do they learn while playing the campaign?
No. So, okay, interesting point.
Yeah.
And was brought up. There is no tutorial for the game.
Yeah.
Is that a good idea? My personal opinion, no. But, having said that, Haven campaign is considered the new player campaign. And if they do start with Haven, though nothing right now tells you to start with Haven, but maybe we can fix this, you will definitely learn the game from being able to play Haven campaign.
Yep.
No problem. There is no official tutorial though.
Yep.
Just wasn't in the the scope of things. Just wasn't decided.
Yep. But the Haven campaign is meant to ease the players.
Ease introduction to the game.
And introduce them to the series, give them a little overview, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a bug that Lilim is much stronger than the Juggernaut? Nope.
I wouldn't have thought so.
It's made to be like that this time around. Some people are saying that units have shifted in strength. Yes, this is
probably
balancing. This is the one point where gameplay comes in front of lore.
Yeah, this is where gameplay comes in front of lore.
Yeah.
And on that note, we have now got joined with us. Oak will go back and get back on the daily grind.
Yeah, I will optimize the game even more.
Yeah, optimize the game even more, and joining
make
me
the
now.
AI smarter.
Joining me now will be Dirk, who is a designer and looking a lot at balance. So he will be able to answer your onslaught questions. He's been answering them in chat anyway, but he'll be able to also play and answer questions a bit more directly. So thanks for joining us, Dirk.
Hi guys.
So yeah, if you just can read questions like Oak was doing, and we'll just go through it and play.
I have to take a look what Oak's
Yeah, you have to see what
you
have to see what his build is, see how he's been going. You know, he's probably set you up for defeat, so don't worry.
No. He's a very good player. That will be.
How do you plan to satisfy the people who want new things to make a comeback to the series? Some people want entirely new experience to try Heroes again. I'm talking about people not currently a fan of the series. Personally, I'm crazy for new things like expendable towns, random stuff happening in the adventure map, seasonal effects. Do you want to make such experiments in the future? Yeah. You want new stuff, right?
For the future, I cannot say much. We are focusing on the release right now, what you currently see are the features we planned to have in.
But for the future, who knows? Yeah, you would definitely want new player gaining capabilities, right? Along with player retention. Yeah. See the thing with Heroes is because it's such an old franchise, right? 95, the first one came out. I think someone said it's like 20-year anniversary somewhere along this line. As fans yourselves, everyone loves Heroes 3, right? Everyone loves Heroes 5, yeah? Heroes 6. Yeah? And they all want stuff from that game, yeah? But then some people want new stuff. And then, like, how do you please those fans? And then how do you get totally new players into the franchise? Because you have to have new blood to keep the franchise alive. So it's a real delicate balance. New stuff is cool. I like some of the suggestions that you said there, seasonal effects and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, not for right now Heroes 7 release. I wouldn't turn around and tell you, yeah, we're going to have this. But it's probably something that will be on the scope, on the scale, for sure. Yeah, you can make both. You are right. How do you describe the influence of the community of the development in Heroes 7? What about the VIP group? In my personal opinion, the VIP group is very good. That's actually one of my core roles. Talking to the VIPs, choosing them. Obviously, I don't want to say what they have and haven't had input in. That's down to them. Everyone's under NDA for that sort of stuff. But as for community feedback, for sure it gets used. Like, massively, it gets used. So it's always helpful. Do you think the same for you, Dirk, for balance stuff?
Yeah, the community had a big influence actually. In the Shadow Council there were big votes which faction are included. That's a very big thing actually. And also the VIP group, we are in constant communication with
constant
them.
Communication. Literally like messages every day I'm talking. Yeah. That's that sort of amount of confirmation. Can AI flee from battles and how it's decided when it flees? So AI currently cannot flee from battle. However, that is something that is being looked into right now. Fleeing from battle or just not putting itself into a bad situation where it like runs close to where it would never win. It's being looked at, so it has like a better threat radar. So yes, that will definitely be looked at. The town guards seem pointless feature, except like an artificial idiot. Okay.
I think I like the town guard. It protects my towns, and I do not have to leave valuable creatures behind.
Yep.
It cannot stop a full-fledged assault, obviously, but it's a protection at least from the heroes with a very small army only.
And when you're looking at how AI, Oak was mentioning how it prioritizes things, a town guard would be something that it would look at, and then potentially maybe not attack, maybe decide to attack a bit later, so it can help you in that sense. So I think it's okay. Gotta go now. Really good to save for the entire stream. Don't worry, it will be archived. So for sure, if you want to catch the last hour and a half, you'll be able to do that. It's no problem. Maybe something can be happening with YouTube. I don't know. I can look into it, but it for sure will be on the Twitch archive. So you'll definitely be able to watch it. Thanks for dropping by. Town Guard is awesome. Town Guard is a good feature. See, like this is, and now you try and make the game. You know, Town Guard's terrible. Artificial idiot. Oh, Town Guard's good. You know, that's how it works. Yeah, I like Town Guard.
Yeah, the area of control feature is also one of the features from Hero 6 I like very much.
Oak will be in chat now. He'll be able to answer any more AI specific questions as well. So that's cool. But all these balancing questions that we had earlier, now is your time to get the answer from the man himself.
Currently we have 10 heroes for each faction. At least 10 heroes.
Yeah.
For skirmish maps in the Hall of Heroes. We have some more for campaign maps, but not all are playable in skirmish.
Yeah.
As a Heroes 5 initiative system is very different from our system. We have the combat round. Each creature acts twice if he or she has moral. But the Heroes 5 system is very different, obviously. It led to some overpowered tactics with high initiative, high attack creatures.
Why does AI suicide into me numerous times? Yeah, this has been looked at. Like I said, it will get like a better threat meter, if you like. Move the combat when you can. Or have we got our first out of sync?
Don't tell me.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, no problem. We can fix that. So there you go. That's how you know it's live, right?
Yeah.
Even we got an out of sync an hour and a half in. So all we'll do is restart the map. So I think you have to quit out. Yeah. And we'll rejoin it. So there, see?
Yeah.
Nothing is infallible. Our stuff breaks as well. But it will be all fixed for release. This sort of stuff, that sort of stuff, will definitely be fixed for release. It's very hard to balance, so it was good changes for me. Great.
The class system makes for good replayability in skirmish maps, I think. You can try out all the different classes and try to find a good skill combination with them.
Should be open in LAN, multiplayer LAN. I just open Bad Neighbours for now. Yeah, there we go. We'll show you a bit of Bad Neighbours, you know. Just mix up the maps a bit.
Yeah, that's the smallest map.
Yeah, it's a small one, so nice and easy. Pick anything, any faction, Haven, Academy, Dungeon, or Sylvan. Yeah, cool. Can you play with Stronghold and Necro, please? No. No.
But you will be able to play
soon.
them soon. Yeah,
Soon.
it's
TM.
very soon. A moral is kept at -50. It does not. The chance is never lower than higher than 50% that he skips his turn. So -90 is just for displaying purposes.
Yeah.
You have to increase it by 40 or more to have an effect, basically.
Yeah. Choosing heroes for sissies. Agreed. That's why we played before, but I saw Dirt pick his, so I had to pick mine. Higher level cap, higher than 30? Hasn't it always been 30 in Heroes games?
It was higher, I think, with 5. It went higher with the expansions.
Okay, so it's like an expansion thing, a modding thing. Maybe this is something that can be modded, so you can have higher level caps.
Yeah. But there are players that want to reach the level cap actually to play with the highest level heroes, and there are other players that won't always have to.
Something to gain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, Week of the Storm, my favourite.
Oh, Week of that's
Week of the Storm. That's a
good to know.
one.
Good that you
Yeah,
encountered.
good that I told you. Yeah. Does well for my ranged build.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
Sorry for my impunity, but you're really sure you don't want us to allow us playing different classes and campaigns? Just don't think it's not a feature, is it? We just play the campaign hero and it's just how it is.
It's one character basically. He
Yeah,
cannot,
basically.
He
You're
cannot
just-
be simply changed.
Yeah, you can't just change, like, it just doesn't make sense, right? Like, level cap in a few weeks.
If the level cap is reached too fast, we can always increase the amount of XP needed. So that's all numbers which are open for balancing, basically.
Yeah, which can be balanced, like,
Quite easily.
yeah, quite easily actually.
Without breaking much.
Yeah. Why does the turn time take so long for the AI at the moment? Okay, so Oak will probably answer you, but turn times have been, for AI, have been essentially reduced by 90% already in this build that we're playing now. So Oak gave the example of Irresponsible War, just him and 7 AI. On the build that you guys are playing, it was taking 6 minutes for turn 1, right? Ridiculous, yeah? Now it takes him something like 35 seconds. That's his and 7 AI turns. So you can see it's like a huge increase already, and it's something that's obviously being worked on. So even now, in this build that we're playing, which is a little bit newer than the closed beta 2 build that you guys playing, it's way better, like so much better already. So don't worry, it's definitely not like that for a release, 100%. Yeah, already 90%, and maybe Oak can do magic and it will be optimized even more. I don't know how that works, but it's way better. What did you say about additional creatures? Do you plan to add a 4th elite or core creatures and ultra choice in future expansions? Maybe. I could not speak for future expansions. Like, just like literally cannot speak about future expansions.
Weakening abilities that would reduce luck or moral, we have these actually as creature abilities, and also in the skill of necromancy. Necropolis. So there's also the spell Despair, which reduces moral, for example.
Yeah, and you've got like the those Grim Reaper type units.
Yeah,
they have like reduced morale if it's next to you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In fact, Dungeon even has a skill that when Shrouded goes away, it reduces initiative by like 25 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're there. There is in the game. Will combat animations be further polished? I don't think they'll change. Will they be polished? Probably. I would think that they're probably being polished. Maybe even Limbic Choska is in chat.
Speed and timing of animations is always a topic.
Yeah. So it's always being looked at. It's not like, right, that's it, we've done the animations now. It'll be looked at, but will they change? Probably not, because that's like a really big deal, right? Animation, like, changing is huge. Why Haven and Criticism specialise in fire with Armageddon being only tier 4 spell?
There's not only Armageddon in fire, so it's...
Yeah. Speed is much better, yeah. You need to change the language. Okay. Will more heroes be added on release, or at least later? No more heroes added on release, for sure. Like, didn't definitely say that. Added later? maybe. Probably there's going to be constant support for the game, right? So probably something new, and I'm sure people will make maps with like new heroes if you like as well. So 2 questions: will the scenario maps H5 like, and how will the cutscenes look? Will they be better than Heroes 6? How do our cutscenes compare to Heroes 6 right now, Dirk?
I like our cutscenes.
Okay.
Have a different style actually. So
What, like the CNMs? I know that our cutscenes were voiced over by the guy that did Witcher. If that's anything, I think he's got a pretty cool voice.
okay, I didn't know
He
that
did
actually.
the guy who did the Witcher franchise, narration. He does also our voiceovers. It's pretty cool. I quite like the CNMs. I quite like the style they're in. We have 2 things. It's called a CNM and an RTC, and you get them in between like the campaign maps. And I actually think they look really cool. And I've done a lot with that sort of stuff, with adding subtitles and all this sort of stuff for localization. Not making the subtitles, but making so you can see them. And I think they look pretty cool. I don't know if they look good, better or worse than Hero 6. It's very subjective, right? Like, does something look good? So, down to the person. I personally think they look pretty cool though.
A town screen build process. We're looking into that. It's a bit sad that you cannot see which building is added to the town screen actually right now.
Yeah.
Movement points on the adventure map, pickup cost. Not sure. We're probably not gonna change much because campaign maps are balanced with these numbers in mind. We can always look on the exploration skill if 1 movement point is not enough.
Yeah.
But exploration was always a very strong skill. Some thought it is a must-have, so we do not want to make it too strong.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yeah. Exploration and like the snatch ability, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's also a favorite. It was one of the most picked abilities in Beta 1.
Okay.
That's quite surprised me actually.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty strong if you have like I guess if you manage to get a scout, like if you go Hall of Heroes and get someone with exploration and you make him like your pickup guy, you give him snatch, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about boss battles and the dynasty system? Those features from Hero 6, and I like that idea. Are there an option to be added in the future, or are they a definite no? Nothing is a definite no, for sure. Like, I'll say that now, and I think most people in game development would say nothing is a definite no. However, I'm going to tell you it's probably not on the table right now. Like, it's not what we're looking at for sure. You solved all of my questions, although some were not for my liking. Okay, well done. Answer before. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna. On that note, I don't mind answering questions. I'll only answer questions truthfully, right? So maybe it's not what people want to hear, but it will always be what is actually happening, not some weird, veiled disguise of an answer. And if I can't answer it, then I'll just tell you I can't answer it.
Gold cost for new heroes is always a balancing topic. We decided on a flat cost. It's not increasing 4,000 gold per new hero you recruit. The creatures he brings is already worth about 2,000 gold right now.
Campaign heroes?
Yeah. It was a different system in Heroes 6 with the campaign heroes.
Yeah. Would people, I just got an idea what we can do. We can save this to show that load save works. I can load Irresponsible War and then pass a turn and see how long AI takes. Should work in this build, right? Yeah, so we can do this as well, it's no problem. So I can show you that AI is faster. So we'll do it live basically.
Yeah.
So I'll save. Quit out, and it will probably boot you out. And then what I'll do, I'll load Irresponsible War, which is our biggest map that you should have been able to play on the closed beta 2. I'll just go me and then 7AI, and we'll go for it.
Yeah. The AI tabs were very long indeed.
They were way
You
too long. They were
noticed
way
that
too
too,
long.
yeah,
Yeah,
that-
for sure, they were way too long. So here you go. Here's your proof right now that it works. So, and
Major improvements coming between now and release. No major features will be added. We
Yeah.
are focused on bug fixing and polishing
yeah.
until release. It's not so long in the future.
And obviously, like we said, if there is something that we can change that has a big impact but doesn't take a huge amount of man hours, this would be like our priority of what gets done.
Balancing is
Okay.
always ongoing.
So I
That's
just
another
pass the
thing.
turn. So you guys can watch. Yeah, and balancing is going to always be ongoing, and it's always going to be going on past the initial release of the game as well. So we're up to player 4, 5, 6.
The size of the pickups is
And player 7.
under consideration. It cannot be changed easily once it's placed on the map.
And now it's my turn. Player 8. Ooh, that looks bad, doesn't it? And now it's my turn. So I mean, it wasn't too bad. So I'll just do it again. Guess now it's the second turn. So you guys can see it's way faster. So you know, we definitely won't wait in 6 minutes. That's for sure. How many hours will the campaign last? Yeah, I don't, without help from the community. No, some of those maps take a long time.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
of those maps are really big.
Some of our biggest maps, are
Yeah.
in the campaign indeed.
So
Yeah.
you got a lot of playtime there in the game.
I did only play some of the maps, and
Yeah, and they can
there's
take a long time.
much content.
Yeah,
in
there
the
is a
campaign.
lot of content for sure. I think I've played every single map at least twice now, every single campaign map,
Mm.
and they take a long time. And obviously, I played some way more than others, but yeah, some of the big ones they take a while, even when you know what you're doing. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the sizes of the dragons.
Yeah, we spoke about that. It's difficult, you know, when you actually look at it from like an edit, like looking at it in the editor, like let's say like the pixels and blah blah blah. It is actually already pretty big. It's just maybe the way it stands, maybe the way the animation could change, things like this. So this can be looked at. But anyway, we've done 2 turns on Irresponsible War now. You can see that, like, let's say me just passing and doing 2 turns took 1 minute 30 or something like this. So it's way better than it was for the closed beta. So we'll go back to our game now.
Yeah, the random map generator.
Yeah.
It's a nice feature. Hero 6 didn't have it.
Hmm. And we definitely do have it. Some
Yeah.
people maybe didn't know, but we definitely do.
Yeah.
You might be able to join now.
Ah,
Player
yeah.
LAN. And let's see if it saved our saved game. Cool. Cool. And I'm ready up. Heard all I got to hear, still not buying the game. Apologies. Alright, thanks for dropping by anyway. Many things like the town song. Yeah, I think we probably do take inspiration from Heroes 3, probably take some stuff from Heroes 5, bits from all the Heroes games, you know, and especially the 3 and 5 being the ones that everyone likes. Sure, we'll definitely take inspiration from those games. I think the current about size is limiting. This is like a question of balance, right? Like you could reduce maybe how far stuff can move and things like that, or what would you say about that?
Yeah, the map size is classic.
Yeah.
We have many abilities that improve creature speed actually. Like a Warcry has it, the faction skill of Dungeon has a movement increase. So creatures can become faster. They may not start fast, but they can
definitely get faster.
Can
I know
be
what
faster,
I know what you're
yeah.
saying. Like you can kind of get from one side of the map in 2 moves. Yeah, I think it would be a balancing thing. If it became like someone found like a broken tactic where they could like rush you and get from one side to the other in one turn all the time, and it was just so strong, it would definitely be looked at and addressed.
Yeah. Stronghold units were very fast, but we had to reduce the speed.
Yeah, especially with like this blood rage mechanic and things like that. How does dual mode work? Can we create our own heroes? No, for sure you cannot create your own heroes in dual mode, unfortunately. How does it work? Like there's like so many preset armies, right?
Yes, there are currently 3 preset armies for each faction and 2 preset heroes.
Yeah.
Level 30 heroes with skills.
Yeah.
And you can combine these currently.
Yeah. What part of the HOM series have you played? So I played 5. I even played it at work. I even have the disc upstairs at work because I know a lot of people like that one. I didn't play 3, but 5. I've definitely played quite a bit of 5. Dirk?
I started with 3 and I played all of them. I also played the earlier parts, but only a bit.
Yeah.
I liked 3 and 5 most. 4 I didn't like Hero 6 too much.
No, I think that's a pretty unanimous choice by the people. Do we have any living beings in the sea, like mermaids or angry fish, or other threats except for shipwrecks? Don't believe so. Not that I've seen right now.
No, not for release.
Not for release.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for release. Will there be combat possibly from Heroes 6 to reload the situation exactly before the combat? Yes, there is.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
there is an option.
You
In fact,
can
we can show it. We'll
the
show it.
combat, yeah.
Yeah, we can show it. It's no
Oh,
problem.
it's my turn already.
Yeah. Yeah, you can it literally like press escape. And there's like a restart map or whatever button, and you can start it. So you have the option that if you get to the end of combat, you can choose fight again, like, and it lets you just redo the fight. Or before that, say you make a mistake, or say you just were like, oh, what if I do this or this? You can just press escape, restart map, and it will re-put you to the deployment phase. So yes, you can. That's already like in the game. Like I think you could even play with it on your version that you've got now for beta. Question at release: is it possible to customize the multiplayer room name, password? Huh, good question. Is that a thing? Like, so you can change the name of the room or add a password so only your friends could join?
Actually, I'm not sure.
I'm not
I
sure.
think so. I think you can make it for friends only. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. But we'll ask because I don't know myself.
Yeah. Probably will answer it in the chat.
Yeah.
In a second.
Yeah. Are there any plans to include a forum besides comment section to the official forum? So the official forums, if we're talking like Shadow Council, again, this is Ubisoft's baby, so I would not choose to answer on their behalf of anything. But if it's something that you want, like we want something like this or this, then it's probably something that you send to Ubisoft or you send to us, and maybe we can forward it on for you. You know what I mean? But for Shadow Council stuff, no idea. That's literally Ubisoft's deal.
Yeah, we want the fastest AI times possible, that's for sure.
Yeah, we do, yeah. And as you see, with that 2 turns with AI meaning just 7 AI, 1 minute 30 for everything to happen, and that by that time we would have had another hero and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Creature abilities, we have fewer abilities than Hero 6, for example. Yeah. Hero 6 had many abilities, but there were so many you could not really check which one are the most important ones. We wanted to go the other way, have fewer abilities, but more impactful, if possible.
I've never noticed how the Kabir walks before. What?
The user content is a priority. How to that it can be created and that it can be shared. I'm
Yeah.
not in the details,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Hey, look, Nick, two small questions. Why we can't see in the town screen mode structure being built? Something that we answered. I think it will be something that will be in more of like a support patch phase. Probably won't change at release. It's quite a big like a resource dependent thing. Maybe if we added something now, it would make the town screen loading times take forever or something. But this is something that we'll look at for like support. And why is there no highlight when moving from town buildings? I think this is kind of under the same vein. Like, it's not in now, so it won't get in for release. But it's something that we will definitely look at, and it will definitely be something that would be a more down the support line, so it's a bit more obvious for the, like what appears on the town screen. I agree. I think it should be a bit more obvious what building you've built and when. So, have a Facebook group, constantly 30 friends. We play Civ 5 Crusader Knights on a weekly basis. It's having home at least 5 players. I want to present them Heroes 7. What I wonder is if Heroes 7 supports 8 players at the same time. It does. Irresponsible War is an 8-player map. That is our biggest skirmish map right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it supports exactly 8 players, exactly how many you need. So there you go.
Yeah. 8 players is the maximum amount.
8
currently.
players is the
Yeah.
maximum amount. Yeah.
For one skirmish map.
Yeah. Why the AI goes to melee range? I mean, why the AI goes to melee with ranged units? Oh yeah, okay. It's a bug. Still about creature abilities of the most impactful, but why are so many in the same different creatures? That's the opposite of unique. Why do so many creature abilities have the same ability?
I don't think we have so many repeats actually.
Question: will the ability to make our own hero abilities, and are we stuck with the heroes? So you can make your own hero abilities on like modding. You can't put it into the core game for sure, but in fact I don't even know if you can make your own hero abilities. You can maybe change what skills they've learned, but this would be like a big modding topic. Maybe one of our modder guys can answer you a bit more in detail, because that is definitely well above what I know to be able to give you a good answer. But I know you can do so much in that editor. Absolute crazy things that you can do in that editor. Have a question, not a joke. Do you honestly think the game is good? And could you honestly say that you're a bit disappointed? Please be honest. So, me personally, not coming from a huge having played Heroes background, it's not really my type of game either. Honestly, I'm much more of an FPS player. I'm a big Dota 2 player. More of the competitive type of player, right? I like Heroes 7, genuinely. I would tell you if I thought it was not my thing. I actually quite like it. I actually think the game is very good for what it is right now. I think you see things differently from the outside, from how I see it from the inside, because of how I can compare it for how it was months ago. Dirk can compare it to, 2 years ago? Things like that, you know? So, yeah, I actually think Heroes 7 is a pretty good game, and I actually think, from what I've played from Heroes 5, it's much more in the vein of Heroes 5 than Heroes 6, which I know is, basically, people don't like that, right? And that's going to hurt us, like, let's make no bones about it. Heroes 6 not being great, right, or not being liked by the fans of the community, is going to hurt us a bit, but I think Heroes 7 is actually really good. I think people will like it when they play it. I know it's quite a cool thing to hate, right? Like, people are like, Heroes, blah, blah, this is bad, but I actually think the core of the game is pretty good. Me, personally. Don't know about you, Dirk, don't know what your feelings are on that.
I like it. I have to play it for work, but I also like to play it. I'm always, when I'm playing the maps and I have to stop because I just want to test something, I already have the just one more turn feeling.
Yeah.
If I could pick up this one over there, build this building, level one more.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it actually.
So that's an honest opinion. So it's not my type of game, but from like I have to play it for work as well. I like it.
Yeah, and for me it's my type of game. I'm a turn-based gamer, strategy games. It's just my thing. I played the older Heroes.
There's some new music which is not included in the beta. There will probably be music that you haven't heard from like campaign maps and things like that. Yeah, I could safely say that it's probably definitely music that you wouldn't have heard. I heard people like the music. I don't know what your thoughts are on. Don't know what your thoughts are on the music.
I like it also.
I quite like the music. I think this works quite well.
Yeah, I like the music. It's different. I like it.
Yeah, for sure.
Unupgraded creatures having no creature ability, that's we won't change much in this direction until release.
Yeah.
That's always it's not a simple thing.
Yeah, like I said again earlier, some people have really good suggestions on paper, like why don't you just do this, this and this, it's so easy, it'll fix everything, right? And we do look at that and we do look at what people are saying, and then you realise in practice, like wow, this is going to take literally weeks to even do, and then it might not even look good, like maybe it just literally doesn't look good on the screen and things like that. So it's really it's a real delicate balance. I think this is a lich, right? People want to see the lich, so I'll zoom in a bit more on this thing. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I like his bouquet. It's
Yeah,
like
I think
of its own.
Yeah, I think it's got a pretty cool attack animation. I think it looks pretty cool. Hero 7 has several Hero 6 tracks, for instance, some siege themes from Hero 6, which feel kind of out of place in a normal battle. Yeah, potentially, like you could be right. I think again, liking something is very subjective, but I actually quite like the music personally. I think that's a pretty good thing for Heroes.
.3D recruitment UI is not planned, at least not for release.
No. Why does Medusa have mobile shooter ability? Why does it have mobile shooter ability, Dirk?
Which unit?
The Medusa. Just does.
Yeah,
Just does.
No other answer to
Just
this.
does. Just Ashan, you know? Just does. Is it possible to make the hero a tad smaller? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's possible. I don't think that is something that will happen, but I'm sure it's possible. Probably you could do that in the editor, actually. And now I think about it. So, what do you think about the model of it? Okay, so this is so I did answer this earlier on asset reuse, right? Reuse assets, and basically that's just how it works in the game industry. We wanted 6 factions, right? And with reusing assets, it saved us a lot of time, right? And that's just how it works in the gaming industry. Reusing assets helped us get other parts, right? Helped us implement new things or make features better. So that's basically the reason why we reused it. Do we want to reuse stuff forever? No, we would love to have new designs for everything, right? But it's just not realistic. Like I'd be lying to you if I told you, look, in a couple months' time we can get a new dragon. It's just not happening. But we try and make do with what we've got. We've got some absolutely great artists and absolutely great visual effects people that work within Limbic that do their best to make the units do, and they're really passionate, right? I know one in particular read forums all the time on particular units that she made. So trust me, people are reading what you put, and if you don't like it, definitely say if you don't like it, and we'll look into it in the future.
And everyone has another favorite creature.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have the unicorn also in the game, but not everybody can be.
Not everyone can have it.
Yeah.
Basically, that's just how it goes in the gaming industry. That is not just a Heroes thing. That is just how it works. Reusing of assets lets us be able to do other things.
Will the campaign stories be connected somehow?
Yeah, spoilers.
Yeah.
You know, spoilers.
Okay.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, the campaigns are not separate entities of themselves. Also, that's why I quite like the scenario maps in Heroes 7. Obviously, no one's played any. I don't want to spoil any, but they also have kind of like an interlinking. All the story is good. The story is pretty well done. Two questions. Why no short stories when you pick up an item like Heroes 3? So this is like the fluff thing, right? I just think it wasn't added, but it's something that's being looked at.
Yeah. Actually, we wanted to keep flavor stuff away from the gameplay that can come into the way of the gameplay. But
Made post-release.
spells that spell have a damage range is new. Not all spells have this. Earth spells do a fixed amount of damage.
Yeah.
For example. No, Inferno, yeah, there was a vote on the Shadow Council.
Mm-hmm.
Inferno unfortunately didn't make it. I voted for Inferno myself.
The reuse of assets question, tell the truth, were or were not the faction in the SC votes paired based on the fact that you could reuse assets for Dungeon Inferno, but could not for Fort Sylvan?
Unit speed is as always possible to change. In limits, but it might change. There might be some are too similar. Heroes creatures can be viewed outside of combat via the Heropedia. That's
Yes, which I've showed, but I can show it again as well, which is in the game right now and being worked on.
Creature recruitment cost for elite creature. Recruitment cost can be changed. It's a topic. They are stronger, they are more expensive, but maybe we do not want armies only of core units because that's enough.
Yeah, on the screen now the Heropedia works for every creature, every hero within every faction. And it will have a little bit of their lore, so it's better for heroes in this example. It's better for their lore, tells you their base stats, what they start with. So you can see that, obviously you can see that just in the game, and then it's going to have like a cool little concept art. There you go, for like the hero, you can see.
Will you reconsider hero movement points? Probably not for release. It has implications, especially for campaign maps, which are tailored to some specific movement speeds, so we cannot mess around with that easily. Yeah.
Can you at least make Dungeon Dragons bigger? So we've answered that a couple of times. It's not just a simple case of just making it bigger, right? Because then it will start overlapping and stuff will start going through each other and it will look really, really weird. Nothing's probably going to change for release, right? That's honest. What would potentially happen is you could make the animation so it like stands on its rear legs, not for release again, for like a support patch, so it looks grander, and we can try and do something like this. But just simply like, oh, just make it bigger. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. But what about secondary heroes? We're about to recruit a new hero in every map as before. So some campaign maps have multiple heroes, like that you can use. Hall of Heroes is turned off for all campaign maps, right? Can't Hall of Heroes in campaign maps, pretty certain.
I think it depends on the campaign map.
Yeah,
there are more open campaign maps, but I'm not entirely sure about it.
But so there are. But you're not going to like the campaign. You wouldn't just play with the same dude every single time. The different campaign maps will allow you to play, like, obviously all story connected, but you'll have like maybe multiple heroes that you can play in the campaign map and this sort of stuff. So yeah, there will be like secondary heroes if you like.
The campaign heroes currently play to the same rules as skirmish heroes. The same creatures, there are no custom or no special values for creatures, for example.
Yeah.
So they are balanced just as skirmish maps. So you do not have the feeling that you have two games you're playing.
Yeah.
You're playing one specially in campaigns and another game on skirmish maps.
Mm-hmm. So we are stuck with the exact copy of the Heroes VII. There's tiny black dragon, iconic creature. Yeah, I mean, true. Like, I'm not going to argue with you. Black dragon looks small, right? But everyone, like, it's just how it is. It's just how it is. Can't give you an answer that will make you happy. Basically, that's just how it is. And we will look into it in future support down the line. Maybe we can make it so its animation makes it look bigger. This sort of stuff. But yeah, right now. You are for sure correct. You are stuck with the Black Dragon from Hero 6. Is it perfect? No, definitely not, but it's just how it goes.
Hybrid warfare units. They're basically two warfare units rolled into one. They have two abilities. They can act twice during the turn. Once they can heal or support your units, and once they do damage.
Yeah. Seems the campaign will be more different to each other than Hero 6, also including different quests. Not every map conquer all cities, am I right? Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Very different.
Very different
objectives.
It's not just like conquer this city and that's it. You've won. Yeah, for sure. Different objectives. At the moment, in the creature costs and hero costs, there is no reason to ever make will it be changed somehow? Yeah, so for EXP, right, it's something that can be like a balancing, right? And it's not a hard change either, right? It's just literally changing numbers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be looked at. Yeah, it's no problem. We can look at it, and we get, obviously this is where player feedback helps, right? So someone asking before, this is where feedback helps. Really, really good. Like, look, I played this on this, and I did this, and I never needed to pick up experience because my hero was always leveling by doing this, and it was just way too quick, and by 10 minutes of playing I was level 15 or something. Then we can really look at it and go, okay, yeah, we'll try it ourselves, then we'll literally do what you said that you've done, and then we go, yeah, you know what, they're right, let's change it. We're certainly not stubborn, to that extent.
Yeah. Balancing feedback is very welcome for the beta. That's the beta is
definitely.
for.
That's what, exactly, literally what it's for.
Yeah. I've read comments that we cannot change anything anyways, but balancing numbers, creature strengths, recruitment costs, stuff like that is...
It's definitely a thing that can change
it's
before release.
It's welcome.
Yeah. We rank the campaign difficulties as having been... so then no, there won't be... I like that suggestion, and that's quite cool, right? Like making it so it stars. So nothing visually right now. Okay, it's just too late to add it into the day. But I like that suggestion. It's a cool suggestion. No, and right now there's nothing that tells people to play Haven, which I think I don't know if that can be changed. But Haven is for newbies, let's say, yeah, just so they can get introduction to the game, and it's a really good introduction to the game. It's really well designed. Level designers for who did all the Haven maps are really, really good. And then I would say the other campaigns are kind of like even-tiered. Some are more difficult, like maybe map 2 or 3 of this one is harder than this one and this one. So, but all I can tell you for sure is that the Haven campaign is for the newer player. But there's nothing visually, there's no visual aid for that, rightly or wrongly so.
But the campaigns can be played in any order, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. If you wanted to, so you're not forced. So I think that's a good thing that you're not forced to play Haven first. If like a lot of you guys are really veterans of the series, you don't need to have your handheld, right? You can just go play whatever one you want. So that's also decent. Okay, please give Striders 75 to 100 HP, Dirk, okay? Please do it. Warfare units question. Yeah, I think that's something else that can be looked at, right? At one point they were really overpowered, at one point they were really weak. At another point, they're just not even telling the right damage. Yeah, they're being looked at for sure.
They start quite weak. That's I think what most people mean when they say they are weak. But if you go up the warfare skill, it was overpowered. I think the numbers already changed a bit. They start a bit stronger and end up a little weaker. But that's all stuff we have to have an eye on.
Yeah. What about the spell visual effects? Are they final? They're not much impressive. Really? I think Armageddon in this game looks awesome. Maybe you didn't see it in beta. I think some of the spell effects look amazing, so I'd be a opposing opinion there. But no, there's not going to be there's not going to be any new visuals for sure. Not for release. No way. They're all in the game right now. Don't you think the buildings that double the growth are giving units way too much increase of the growth? Like, so if something doubles its growth, it's too much? Yeah, potentially. These are also numbers we are looking into. I like a high impact because it really differentiates. If you have to choose one of the growth increase buildings... because you obviously get cut off from one. If you pick one, you don't get the other. So. Yeah.
If it's only a small number, it doesn't have such a big impact. But these are numbers we are always looking at.
Is there a limit on the number of skills, not perks, I can have?
In random skilling, you are limited to 5 skills.
Yeah.
But when with a free skilling mode, you can pick every skill basically. You can want, just
up to level 30, like giving you a skill point every level.
If you put 1 point in every skill, you need 10 points already. Or you start with 2.
Yes. What role will dungeon have? Another counselor or enemy? Spoilers, but a cool role. I like. In fact, they've got some cool storyline to them. I love how open they are. Much respect for this. Thanks very much. That's all we plan to do. Like I said earlier, this is not like an Ubisoft initiative or anything like that. This is literally, I said, do you know what would be cool? Let's stream the last couple of the days of the closed beta. Someone else said, yeah, that would be good. Go and do it. Here we are. That's why we had some difficulties at the start. Apologies again for like the stupid mic stuff. But it won't be the last, right? I tell you another thing, right? In feedback, this sort of stuff really, really helps. If you can write on community boards, look, that dev stream was alright, yeah? We actually quite liked it. They didn't answer everything we wanted, or maybe they missed my question, or blah, blah, blah. But if you can just give us feedback, if you liked it or not, it massively helps, yeah? And then we'll do it for future down the line, for other stuff as well. It's no problem at all. It's not a hardship for us to do it. So if you like it, let us know, basically. Let us know wherever you want to let us know.
Yeah, the faceless. Yeah, I like the faceless, actually. It's a bit sad that they're not a real creature.
Number of artifact slots and reduction of slot is really kind of like out of hand. We add at least one more slot. Wouldn't have thought so, right? It'd be like a GUI thing. Not just going to add. Isn't there a reason that there's less artifact slots, right? They want it to be less impactful in the game or more impactful. I remember reading about this.
So the artifacts,
like as in what can go on your hero, like your items. There's less slots than previous Heroes games.
Actually, I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think so. I think we have the same number of slots,
okay.
But
I'm sure one of you guys can tell us how many are in Heroes 5 or 3.
We renamed them. I'm always a bit confused. I think it's offhand slot now. It was ring or hands.
Can you say you're satisfied with the random map generator? I haven't used it that much, so I wouldn't want to give you an answer. Have you used the random map generator much?
Yeah, I was in the design of the random map generator heavily involved. I like it. It generates nice landscapes you can use as a base for your own tailored maps, but you can also... they're also playable. Yeah, they're currently a bit hard. That's also a number thing. What items are placed exactly and how many and how heavily guarded. The ones I played are harder than the skirmish maps, or felt harder than the skirmish maps because there were less resources. It's quite easy to use. It's just buttons.
It's
you have some
you
options.
press like a button, right?
Yeah. It was not easy to implement, but it's easy to use now. Creature abilities of the Necropolis Final. We won't change anything before release, I guess.
No.
Yeah. The limit of the 5 skills for random skilling. Yeah, it was. It's intended that it makes for more natural skill progression. If you use it for the first time, that you do not click randomly and start every skill and end up with a very non-viable build. But it won't change for release, but it's also on the list.
So maybe the community can ask me this question, right? So Heroes 5 was considered one of the best skill ways of playing, right? With the random skilling and how it worked. Like, people loved that Heroes 5 skill abilities, right? In general, the general consensus, right? Yeah. So, but did you guys like it when there wasn't that? Then someone made like that pizza, like they made the graph of what skill goes in where, didn't they? That was like on an external website. Yeah. And then people really liked it because they were like, oh, I want this and this and this. Did people like the Heroes 5 skill wheel without any information? Like, I would love to know. I would literally love to know. For me personally, I'm one of the gamers that like, I do way too much research before I play the game. It kind of takes the fun out of it, right? So I know what's optimal straight away. And if I didn't have that information available to me, I'd be like, oh, what if I've not picked this optimal skill and I've missed something? Then I'd be really annoyed. So I'd love to know what the community, if you like the Heroes 5 skill wheel before you had that external thing that showed you the paths of what to take, if that makes sense. I'd really like to know the community's feedback on that.
I played Heroes 5 when it was new without much research, and I liked the skilling, but when I played some and I found out that there's more to the skill, you have to choose some skills to get to better skills, I felt like I missed out on stuff. That was indeed a feeling I had. So I think it's not as perfect, the Heroes 5 discipline. I think it is a bit overcomplicated, especially for new players. It's very nice for replayability if you play years and years and you know it by heart. Yeah,
so without the flash wheel it was hard, right?
Yeah, it was a nightmare, and I can...
I mean, I'm saying the hero skill wheel was nice, right? But I'm saying before you had that information of that flash wheel, like when it first came out, did people really like that? Like, I would just like an honest opinion. No, you won't be able to uninstall Uplay once you register the game. It's just required to play the game because there's like Uplay achievements and all this sort of stuff, and it's like the DRM of the thing.
But you only have to activate Uplay once.
Yes.
It's no online requirement.
Yeah, you're not. So
like Heroes 6, it was awful.
Yeah. So we have announced that there is a day one patch. So people know that, because obviously we want to polish the game, right? Like, you wouldn't want to play the game as you played closed beta. You want to play it with the new AI that we've got now. Blah blah blah. So you can register. You don't even have to download that day one patch, I was told. If you register with Uplay, you wouldn't even need to if you didn't want to. But you should.
You should. I recommend it.
We definitely recommended, right, to download the day one patch. But since then, you can just go offline. If you wanted to, if you didn't want to play online, don't matter. You can do that.
There was a balancing question that champions are not strong enough compared with core units. We are looking at that. I have this impression too, and maybe the cost is the right point where we can change something. But it's not easy. It's not easy. We're looking at it.
Do you want to improve textures? I wouldn't say anything will change now, but I would say that we want to improve, right? Everyone wants to improve, so yes. But for right now, no way at release will there be like texture improvements or anything like that. Okay, this is a cool example, or not a cool example, where like some objects can be a bit dull. Like if I didn't use the Alt key, then I wouldn't have thought to interact with that. So this is what we'll try and change. We may look at Sanctuary faction from Heroes 6. It was a really unique and awesome faction. The only reason I played Heroes 6 at all. Hope you can just take a look at the game. Maybe it's future DLC. Maybe it's future DLC. Who knows? Like, I literally couldn't tell you if it is or isn't, because I don't know. I don't even think that sort of like discussion is on the table. But yeah, right, like why not? Why couldn't it be in future DLC? Basically, why couldn't someone make it in the mod? Like choosing the same sort of things. Could be a thing. Well, the idea of having some better skills but relying on others is also nice, but adds some more complexity and gives perks. Yeah, I agree. I agree that the Heroes 5 system was cool, right? Like I said, I played Heroes 5, I like it, but without that flash wheel, I don't think I would be as big of a fan of it. In Heroes 7 are 8 artifacts. In Heroes 7 are 8 artifact slots. In Heroes 5 there are 10 artifact slots. There was a place for a shield instead of gloves, an additional place for a ring, and a place for a pocket artifact. I guess the reason we have 8 is just a design thing, and then is there any particular reason why we have less, or is it what was it like before on artifacts?
No, actually not. I was not as involved in the artifacts as I'd liked, obviously.
So basically we couldn't give you a fair answer, because we are unsure, though if someone knows in the chat, I'm sure they'll answer for you. Fortunately, certain fans are in a minority. Personally, I like them as well. Yep. Did someone want to know about local? Someone mentioned that some localizations are really bad. We'll look into that if it's like literally game breaking. For sure, it will be looked into. As for the amount of languages, it's something like. Oh, I should know because I was the one that wrote all the stuff. But we support like 13 or 14 different languages. It's crazy. Plus 7 voiceovers, like as in like spoken languages, which is pretty good. Let me tell you, nowadays in the gaming industry to support that much. That seems stupid, right? But that's a pretty big deal. So we try and cover as many as possible. Though if some of them are really bad, then we would like to know that actually.
Dwarves unfortunately also did not make it. They lost the vote on the Shadow Council.
Dwarves lost a vote. Okay, so place pocket was added. Yeah, see, this sort of stuff is added later. I think. So another thing that I've been reading and like know of anyway through the Heroes franchises is that maybe Heroes 3 at release wasn't actually the holy grail of a game that it's made out to be, but when it was modded and a couple of months down the line with support, then it was a really good game. Same can be said for Heroes 5. Wasn't fantastic at release, but when it was modded a couple of months down the line with some support, then it was really good. I'd like to say the same for Heroes 7, right? Like, maybe it won't be the holy grail of Heroes franchise games, but I think with some good community support, some good modding, and a good core game that we have right now, I think it could be a really good game. I think it could be up there, yeah? Like, that's a big statement, but I think it could be. Well, like, why not?
Balancing issue, economy, architect skill, very powerful. We reduced that already. It's currently only 10%. That was
same for diplomacy. Someone brought up. It's already been looked at.
Yeah. The golden tongue skill should not totally remove the cost to recruit creatures that want to join you. Yeah. They will always have a cost, and that's not the cost that's significant. And that will be our way to balance it, to not make it snowball and just gobble up all stacks on the map.
Yeah.
The question obstacles on the battlefield. I think we have many obstacles.
Yeah, we do have.
Some feel already a bit cramped from the combat maps. You can block passageways and the enemy cannot move around you. Yeah. But that's, I think that plays nicely with our more location-based combat.
Yeah, with the more flanking system again. Yeah. Kind of ties in with that.
We have more relocations, relocation effects in general, and we hope that all works together with the flanking very nicely.
Heroes 5 had a lot of support post-release. Same here, basically. Like I said, it's definitely not a one and done. It's not a here's your game, see you later. This will have a lot of support post-release as well. From us, from the community, hopefully, making stuff.
Yeah. The priority is all tools for the community. The editor, the map editor, community-created maps is a big point. We hope we will see many of them.
Yeah.
That'd
be really cool.
Building tree. The building tree won't change much till release, I assume.
happy.
Inferno faction, it's my personal favorite also. And I play the game also in English only.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah.
And we are developing it in English actually,
Yes.
just for information.
I think I'll support Heroes 7. It looks like you are on the right track.
Custom battlefields, very possible, very possible.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Question, what happens after release to Limbic team? Do you get signed to a new project? Business-wise, what can I tell you? People will definitely stay on Heroes, potentially go to new projects, and keep going on with Heroes support, as you would. Don't think anyone is getting sacked or nothing like that, but that's obviously for the big bosses to decide. But basically, Heroes support, the Heroes team will definitely still have a core Heroes team and still support. Maybe some people will go and work on something else, you know, like another project, but there will still be a Heroes team. It won't be like, okay, Heroes is released, okay, 90% of you go over there, 2 people sit in the corner and make Heroes. It's not going to be like that. Is it possible to edit core features in the game with the editor, like say the turn of flank, and to make it only work on some specific units on a harpy? Or, I don't know, maybe if Sir Christian is in chat, he'll be able to answer that better for you, because I'm unsure. Do you reckon you can edit that? Maybe. Yeah. Well, I mean, probably you can, because you could just give a creature vigilance that it wouldn't normally have, and that means it can't be flanked. So I guess you could do it like a hacking way, if you like, to use that term. So you probably can do that actually.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah,
we have
it would definitely be
the
possible.
user-friendly editor and the whole Unreal editor.
Yeah.
And there is much stuff possible.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that editor is really, really good, by the way. Like, just throwing it out there. I'm not someone who knows all about the editing side of it, and I wouldn't preach to say I do. I just know it's very, very good. What do you think about turning hero specs like increased creature growth into something more combat orientated? I guess it could have a place. Like, I guess that could be a thing. Like, maybe a future feature, someone does something like that. I guess that we have some skills that do kind of like that. Like, reinforcements increases like how many creatures you get right for that combat, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of already there. We'll be able to improve the hero specializations.
Hero specialization is a topic. It comes up very often from the fans, and it probably won't change until release.
That's post-release
what I wanted to know. I can say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, increased creature growth come in into something more combat oriented.
Yeah.
It's
It's the thing that can happen. So maybe the community can tell me this as well. How big is the competitive? Like I said, I come from like a competitive gaming background. How big is the competitive scene within Heroes? Do people have like tournaments and things like that? And how long do they last? How does that even work? Is it even a thing? Is it a big community supported thing? Do we have community supported tournaments? Is that something that people do, and then maybe, I don't know, people commentate on them? Is that a thing within the hero scene, or is it not really a hero thing? And is it something that could potentially happen? Obviously, esports is growing hugely. I'm not saying the Heroes is an esports game, don't get me wrong, but people like watching tournaments, right? And there's probably people that are better at the game, so it would be quite cool. I don't know if that's a thing that happens. And if there is there like links to stuff like, oh yeah, this amazing game where these 2 guys played, I don't know, Heroes 5 or something.
Competitive scene. I played Heroes 3 on a LAN network in a friend's cellar back in the time.
Back in the day.
But that's as competitive as I play Heroes.
Right.
It was friendly.
Yeah. Heroes 3 has tournaments even to this day. Okay, cool. History has really awful tournaments that are basically unwatchable. Okay. Yeah, there are local and international. Basically like a hockey league. Okay. Can you please nerf the skills for heroes? Currently it feels like battles are all about the hero and optimizing him. It feels ridiculous that it can kill 45 elites per example with a tsunami. Meaning you need no army whatsoever. Really? Someone thinks magic is overpowered. That is something that I have not really heard spoken about.
Yeah.
Normally the cry is that magic is underpowered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a problem
Yeah.
of feedback.
So that's the thing with feedback. So we can definitely look in for like specific spells. But I think that wasn't it Heroes 4 that was the game where the hero was really dominant, right? Because he was on the battlefield. Is that Heroes 4?
Yeah, that's Heroes 4.
Yeah, okay,
exactly.
so I don't think it's quite like that. I think it's alright. I don't think the hero's overpowered, but maybe we can look into that. Maybe you went like you built a really specific path of units and you found like a broken build. So that would be cool to know like why you think like the way you played was really strong. Because I don't get that feeling.
Yeah. The tsunami is indeed very strong. It's an area effect and a master spell. If you have if you have a high spell power, you really dish out
A lot of damage, right?
a lot of damage. Yeah.
Sure.
Actually, we reduced slightly the scaling power of
There you
master
go.
spells. Yeah.
There you
So
go.
scaling this is a magic value.
Will there be more loading screens than the one during the stream? There are more loading screens. As for skirmish maps, I guess that they would have to be just added. Like, so we have more loading screens, but maybe they're used for like campaigns or scenario maps. But if people wanted more loading screens, I think I couldn't tell you if it's easy or not to have. So maybe.
We have different loading screens for
We-
campaigns, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like, okay, are there different loading screens? Yes. Are there different loading screens for like this particular skirmish map? Not right now. But this is something that it would not be difficult to add. To what extent is the current skill system set in stone? Is there a chance to improve post-release or pre-release? Post-release, anything's on the table. Pre-release, no,
No. Yeah.
no way. That's the honest answer. But post-release, sure. Like, why not? Like, I think things can certainly be looked at.
Yeah, it's a very high effort. So skill systems, there are all kinds of UI related stuff. It's it's not easy to change.
Yeah, yeah.
The magic seems to be less OP. We went to 4x4 square buffs. We want to have more location effects. So it's important where you are on the battlefield and where you position yourself. But I think the spells with high spell power are quite strong, especially the buffs. They start out weak. That's often you see them and you think, that's very weak. But if you focus on them, skill fire magic and get magic points, the spells get very strong.
We balance the gold cost of creatures. I feel like they're too expensive, especially champions. Yeah, it's something that we can definitely being looked at, and it's not a hard change either. Like, it's changing numbers, basically. Question about Paragon and Meta Magic skills. In Paragon Fielding, there is an ability to allow you to cast any spell at master level. At this point, there is no meaning in Meta Magic. What do you think about it? What ability is that in Paragon?
So that's the ultimate ability. It's not any spell on master level. It's any spell you have at least the novice rank skilled. So it's different than Meta Magic. Yeah, it's different. It's two ways basically to be able to cast master spells without skilling the corresponding magic skill. Exactly. Meta Magic increases spell power, for example. It's a different approach.
Yeah.
It's a different approach to casting.
I don't think that this game can be competitive. Game lasts too long for multiplayer session. Yeah, I don't think that Heroes is a competitive game, like, as a genre. I was just asking if people did tournaments.
Abilities, our Grandmaster abilities are we envision them as not the only way to skill your hero. It's a possibility, but it should be not the only viable build for each class.
Can you play a map that is not in a beta? No. Just like I can't play Necro for you or Stronghold. You don't want all the spoilers, you know. You want like something so you can see it's new when the game releases. Dual can be competitive, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sitting enjoying yourself. Yeah, I agree, Metal Freak. That's what I kind of envision. The more of the player base is more like that than competitive. And as you mentioned, Witcher 3, if people didn't know, our CNMs and our narration is done by the guy that did the Witcher 3. Same narrator. Pretty cool.
What's the difference between normal fire magic and prime damage? Creatures have immunities or resistances to some elemental types, and so you have to choose wisely which damage you apply, if you have the choice, for spells for example. Or creatures are more or less powerful against creatures that have resistance against their own damage type.
Personally, I think that small maps with sim turns might work for competitive, but what do I know?
Yeah.
What do you know? Yeah, could be a thing. Bad neighbours, sim turns, you could probably play quite quick. Maybe if you did timed turns, maybe that could be a thing, you know, like so you got to act within, I don't know, X amount of seconds, and the map has to be finished by a certain amount of time. Like I said, it's probably not the demographic of the game, and I don't say the game is at all some sort of like next esport, but it's just interesting to know if people do, if the community does support that sort of stuff.
Starting bonuses, as in Heroes 5, are currently not planned for release. It was only a small choice, a small thing.
Yeah, I agree. Zendler, I think that everything has the ability to be competitive, right? You can look at, I don't know, Tetris. There's a cool Tetris documentary about how there's a super competitive scene for Tetris, right? But it's just not the core player base. But I definitely don't think that that's like you just ignore it. I was just wondering if the community already had like an outlet for there to be competitive, and if there is, that's quite cool. You know, it's just another angle, another thing that we can look at, another way. Yeah, maybe we can look at it like this. But for now, we just want to produce a good game, like the good package. Yeah, which I think I think any Magic game would take a long time, right? The game is not a quick, like 1 hour done kind of deal.
Yeah, it's not a 20-minute.
It's not a 20. It's not like an arena game for sure.
Arena match.
Yeah, it's not an arena game. Question: the Black Dragon have magic resistance? Gargoyles also have. Did that mean that the Kabir cannot be damaged by the Black Dragon?
For combat damage, for creature damage, the damage is only halved. It's only half reduced. So the Kabir will do only half damage against magic immune or fire immune creatures. So two Kabirs can actually deal damage to each other, even if both deal fire damage and are fire immune. For combat damage, immunity only halves the damage. Spell damage is reduced by 100%. So. How do caravans work? Only newly recruited creatures can be transferred by caravans. You basically do the recruiting. You want to have your troops in Town A, you click recruit on Town A, and then you can switch through the other towns you own and recruit them, and they will automatically enter a caravan and move to Town A.
check the Heroes Zone YouTube channel later on. We added a whole video about multiplayer online. Will do.
The campaign maps have multiple endings. You probably don't mean if you can win or lose. I cannot confirm or deny anything.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe some of them do. Again, spoilers, you know. Have you thought about choosing classes, something like the reputation, instead of predefined classes? I don't think that's been thought about, right? Yeah, honestly.
Yes, the reputation, it was one step too complicated for our liking. It was not the worst feature of Hero 6, but I think it was one too much. We want to go a bit back, make it a bit simpler to understand, especially for beginners.
Yeah. Is there a possibility to make caravans faster in the future? They're often slower while carrying your reinforcements with heroes. I think that's kind of. I think that's right. I think they should be slower than if you manually moved. Because think of what. Say if you just had a hero that you literally hired a hero just for caravanning. I mean, you're going to move more optimally, right? It's just going to move better. Will they be faster? I mean, there's always the option of making them faster, but they still have limited movement points, same as normal hero. And
yeah, the caravan will start moving only at the end of the turn you recruit, so that's always advantage for the hero.
Yeah.
But we are looking into making them faster. Actually, it should be a very viable way to transfer your troops.
There you go. Will sometimes be something that you could choose your way in the game, comparing as in life is strange and basically all told. Oh, no, not like there's your pathway and like you pick this or this. No. Why did you remove the sulfur and gems? They're a beautiful part of the Heroes universe. Yeah, just because.
I like the old resources too, but it's a different universe, basically.
Yeah.
It's a different universe.
I just think about balance here. Too much is not good, maybe. The best system spells, arcane knowledge, preferred magic school, magic guilds. In the Heroes, I think it seems all campaigns have two similar but nevertheless different endings. About caravans, I mean, if I'm in town A, it should be possible to get town. Yeah, so that said, there's a possibility that they should be a viable thing.
It's possible to move creatures to force. I think there's a misunderstanding, or maybe it's not working in the beta. You should be able to choose a 4 and recruit creatures from other towns, and they enter caravan and move to this 4.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
I think this question.
So if it didn't work in the beta, then maybe that is something that is that was actually a bug, but people just didn't realise. So we'll look into it.
Yeah. It's possible to intercept. You see the caravans on the map, they move and they end their turn somewhere. If they don't reach a town, you can pick up some or all creatures they are carrying. You can attack your opponent's caravans too, obviously. Are there more types of weeks? I'm not sure. We have.
And then more than in Hero 6.
But I cannot compare.
Yeah. How many does Hero 6 have? And then we'll be able to tell you. We have a lot though. By the way, I love that you gave Darkstorm a Minotaur model rather than a standard Dark Elf hero. Will this be the case with other non-core race heroes like the Null Centaur? Yeah, right? Yeah, there is, definitely.
If they are, have the specialty, they all got...
That is definitely a thing. They have like their cool model. Yeah. Any plans to release new factions as DLC at some point? Always, there's always a potential for this sort of thing. Not many types of weeks in Hero 6. Then maybe we have more.
Go fight each other. Yeah? I have to look.
Yeah.
where Dan is lagging around.
Yeah. I think I'm like 2 weeks behind in army, so.
I'm not sure. I click very fast. It's, I'm not used to doing these Twitch things.
Yeah.
And playing at the same time.
be called Death again.
Yeah,
I
the
really
minor
like
tower is also a favorite of mine actually.
Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, and there's some cool other ones as well.
Yeah.
Insufficient does not have winter snowflake theme, snow ice theme faction. I don't know.
No special reason.
No specific reason. Someone didn't watch Frozen, so. But no specific reason why not to have it. AI has beaten me on Bad Neighbors twice. Yeah.
Yeah, the AI is very aggressive.
Yeah, it can be
newer
really aggressive.
iterations.
Yeah.
It's not always always good, but it can be quite
yeah.
surprising.
Yeah, it's definitely something, Weather effects? Are there weather effects? I don't think so right now. I know there's day and night. Like some combat maps have this like ability to play it day at night, and it's like more within line of the map. If it's a dark map, it will be in there. And there's like fog effects on some maps and things like this. So I guess you could say that's weather effects.
I think there are also combat maps that have snowing, but
yeah, this sort of stuff.
There's no day-night cycle on the adventure map.
It's not a day-night cycle, but some of the like the combat maps will be in nighttime or something. Inferno is a must. I'm a die-hard core fan of the demon concept. It didn't get voted though, right?
Yeah, they lost the vote. I voted for Inferno too. I've mentioned it sometimes already.
Could you please name the targets you will focus on now and after the release, including balance and debugging? I guess balance is always there, right? Like that never drops off the list, basically. Balance is always there. This information thing, where people don't want to see what their opponent's fighting, this is probably something that will be spoke about. What else? Camera? People saying about the camera. This is probably being discussed, something like this. How the camera angle is and all this sort of good stuff. That's probably being discussed. Bugging, like someone said debugging, this is like, I couldn't even explain. Like we've had days where you're not allowed to leave until certain amount of bugs a day are fixed and things like that. We're doing good on this, by the way. Like I don't want to give any sort of numbers, but the bugging is doing really good, fixing those. General polish, of course. Yeah, is like always a thing that's happening. And then post-release, it will be like support. It'll be that will also be polish and balancing. So let's say balancing always up there, being spoke about. Camera, this information thing. And then I guess depending on what happens with like unit models, I don't know, but let's say balancing is definitely up there. I'm out of there. I teleported away. You never get me. Obviously lacking resources here. There's no mine around.
Does not look good.
Doesn't look good.
Bad for me, I think.
Yeah. It's fine. We have the market for this, this extortionate market trade.
Yeah, the heroes riding backwards not so nice. But I think it's fixed already, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, riding backwards, yeah. That's fixed. That weird bug. Or they ride like sideways or something. Yeah. There was also one where you went through a portal and your hero was upside down and it just looked like the horse was running like this. It was quite funny.
No, that didn't.
It was a good bug. Fixed now. Dungeon sound screen. I hope I haven't updated patch for the sound screens. I think there is a cool concept, or not even concept. I think there is a cool looking town screen that adds something, makes it look nicer. So actually, that is a thing. Is it going to be in release? I definitely don't want to tell you. Yeah, I think so. Textures of dragons and faces. Maybe Limbic Choska can help you there. He will give you more insight on this sort of stuff. Hey, are Jules going to be included in the release? They are, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, they are. They are.
We are
And-
working on some that we can have some balance. It's not easy because level 30 heroes with quite an amount of abilities, interacting and synergizing.
Yeah.
So we already found some very overpowered combinations by testing them.
Yeah. How do they work? Oh, look, an outsync. Oh, okay. So there you go. We got an outsync as well. Yeah, we've done that. Yeah. So yeah, duels are every faction has 2 heroes with custom skill, like preset skills, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're level 30, and then there's 3 different types of armies
Yeah.
they can have.
Yeah. Currently that
Currently.
3 different setups.
Yeah.
I think that's the minimum we will have at release.
Yeah. Are there any possibilities to read some more information about the decorations on the map, like statue of or the watermill? I think there's like signs and like little like fluff pieces around, isn't there?
Oh, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah.
I think some campaign maps have like some fluff stuff. So yeah.
The sim turns in the skirmish maps against the AI, I think it should be possible. I'm
Yes.
not entirely sure. Okay.
You can indeed play sim turns with the AI. But it still needs to be like totally polished so you don't get this out of sync stuff. Yes.
Currently, hero recruitment, is it possible to have more than one hero of your faction available? Currently not. It's a design choice. It has implications. If several players select one particular faction, it can happen that the whole of hero runs out of heroes of that faction, and we want to avoid that.
We'll have to close out, but we have 5 minutes left, so what we'll do, we'll just go full screen and we'll just answer questions anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. So with the magic of OBS, victory winner. There you go. And look at that. There you go. There's your Ubisoft achievement right
We
there.
got an achievement.
We got an achievement, so you can see.
No.
So you can see that they are a thing. I will just full screen us with this button, I believe. Hope that worked.
Do you think that ranged units are rather overpowered? That's a question. That's a balancing question. I would say maybe. I want to gather some more feedback to that topic. They are as powerful as in older parts right now, I think. They are very useful when fighting against neutrals.
Yeah.
That's always...
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe with the archery skill they can be strong, but I think time will tell. You need way more. You need like so many thousands of hours of playing to realise if it's strong or not.
Yeah. But we can change relations there. If we recognize they are too strong, we can change that.
We can change
Nerf them a bit in relation to melee creatures.
Mm-hmm.
AI turns improved. Yes,
AI
sure,
turns.
definitely.
And if
they
you
are
watch-
already.
So this stream will be archived. If you watch it back, we opened up Irresponsible War, the 8-player map. Just had me and 7 AI. I passed the turn, and right now on the closed beta build that you guys are playing, it would take 6 minutes or something ridiculous, right? Now it takes 35 seconds already in the build that we're playing. So for release, it's already 19% improved. So it will get only better. So yes, AI turns are way already cut.
You can start the 8-player map maybe? There's a request?
Yeah, we can.
we can do
I'll chuck
Yeah.
it back up for the last little thing. No problem.
You guys seem really cool, thanks.
Again, like I said, so we got last few minutes. So look, me and 7 AI, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pass the turns to you guys, and you can see how quickly it goes. Again, if you like the stream, like I said, this is just a Limbic initiative. It's nothing like pushed on us from Ubisoft or anything like that. It's not some sort of marketing stunt. We literally thought it would be cool to hang out with the community. So this is what we did. If you like it, please let us know. Like, let us know on Heroes community, all this sort of good stuff. Wherever you want to let us know, please do. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, you can say as well.
The Grandmaster availability, they are a bit unevenly distributed. Some are more common than others. Yeah. Storm arrows, yeah, especially the
Storm arrows is good.
full range thing. Also the skill abilities under.
But Storm Arrows is like only +3, right? So it's strong at the start and then it like tapers off. Must do at the end, right? Surely.
Yeah, if you upgrade it, it always also gives you full range for
Oh,
your
okay.
creatures, and that's I
So it's
think
pretty strong.
yeah.
So yeah, we can look into.
We probably won't change the tiers of the spells.
How often will we stream? Well, there's no closed beta or anything like that. See, the hero turn's finished, by the way, for this first one, and I'll pass again. How often will we stream? Honestly, if maybe it's a thing that I can do. We're doing it right now because everyone can play, yeah, on the closed beta. That's so we're not showing away anything. But maybe we can get another pre. There is even going to be, I think, another stream beforehand. Maybe not with us, but maybe with Ubisoft. I'm not sure. So if we can get another pre-release stream, for sure we'll do it. Like if we really liked, then we'll definitely do it for you, and do the same again. There's no Limbic forum. Nope. Nope, that's Oscar. When the archives are all available, I think I click like this Twitch beta thing, and I think it's almost instantaneously. As soon as I press stop streaming, it's kind of like already going to be there. So you'll be able to watch back whatever you want to watch back. It's definitely archived, for sure. I definitely press that button.
Good luck with the game. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
We do our best.
Yeah, we do. Do our best. Long, long hours. Believe you me. Pre-order is a region lock. I didn't know. Not my department. See, the Heroes